Hello and welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop, your one stop for co-op news, reviews, and playthroughs. I'm Peter, and tonight we're playing through Marvel Champions. What's up, Terence?
How's it going? Made it through another week.
We did, and sorry for the late start for those of you who are joining us on the live stream. We're usually pretty prompt about 10 o'clock, but my daughter is playing hockey now, and yeah, this was our first time doing a Friday night practice. And I didn't realize it started at 8:10. I thought it started at 8, so didn't end until 9:10. And then she's like, "Can we get some food?" And I'm like, "Yes, we can." So, yep, this was on me. I apologize, but that's all right because we have some fun stuff in store for you tonight. We are taking on, I don't know, what do you think? One of the hardest villains out there, Venom Goblin?
I think in my write-up I said top three easily. I think you could probably make a case for Ronin as well.
Yep,
And,
for sure.
like a lot of the end villains, I think. I think Hood's probably up there for me too.
I was
I
about
think
to
he's
say,
definitely one
depends
of
on
the.
the modulars you put with Hood, but yeah, Hood can get brutal.
Yeah, I mean, I think without the mods, just like how much surge happens because of his ability. And it just gets worse over time, right? It's just like you get more non-hood cards, so you go
Yes.
down to just get more junk.
Yeah, well,
So I
especially if
think,
you start losing the schemes too, which are
yeah,
pretty low numbered if I remember correctly.
yeah, they are. I think he's definitely like one of those villains where he accelerates with the player.
Right.
Like you build up your board state, but he also builds up his board state, but he might build up faster than you because his deck just gets better for him over time.
Yeah. Well, for those of you who haven't played Venom Goblin, we'll go over that right before we get started. But first thing we always do is talk about our decks. So Terrence, oh my gosh, 50 cards. Let's
Not quite 50. I'll kind of just go through it in broad strokes. So
Yep.
Peter told me he was building a Wolverine aggression deck. So my assumption, and then he showed it to me, and I was just like, oh, so you're not doing any thwarting
No.
or very little, even with Into the Fray and stuff that you have in aggression. So I went through a bunch of different decks, and I was trying to find a way to, as I don't know if Peter panned through it because I can't see the YouTube as easily while watching the game, but Banter Goblin has three side main schemes, so we actually get three times the amount of acceleration
Yep.
without him even scheming. So there's just a lot more threat compared to I think a standard scenario. So
My thought is
I
if I
want
hit him hard
to,
enough, quick enough, we don't have to worry about threat.
yeah, good luck. And you have to survive. Yeah, so I kind of built a bunch of stuff. Yeah, so Cap is cool because innately he has a way to boost for at least the round, or the
Yep.
phase rather. And he has two of these, and so with his ability to ready, you can actually take advantage of it more than once. Um, Obviously +1, and then this is just for that one thwart action that you're doing, basic thwart, but you can get a heal out of it, which is kind of nice.
Yep.
Um, but when you're running one way or another, I love to adjust his cards. I think it's so fun to. I mean, who doesn't like drawing cards? And Cap loves to draw cards. Probably
This has
more.
become a
Everyone loves to draw
staple.
cards, but I think I
Yeah.
think it's such a staple because you need it for both shield toss and his reading. So he wants to have those cards there. But you want to be able to kind of clear that thwart. So like I think making an entrance helps you get potentially that extra like one or two thwart you might need on that opening turn even,
Yep. Makes sense.
to kind of clear that. Chance encounter there to recur Nick Fury or any specific ally, but he's probably the obvious target, as we saw in the Scarlet Witch deck I was running earlier.
Yeah. Lots
Two
of cards.
copies of Skill Investigator. There are only three side schemes in here, so there aren't going to be nearly as many opportunities as in previous games, but still thins the deck, and it'll be nice to have one out on each player. And this was kind of the card, given the three side schemes, that I really wanted to play around with.
Yep.
And I think it's generally an expensive card unless you're playing high player counts, but even in two for this, or even one, when I was doing some play testing, I was able to remove 20 threat.
Wow.
So I had one way or another where I pulled out a side scheme that, and what's interesting is this one, there's two of the three side schemes are just a static 5, and one is scales by player. So if you can get up to 5 thwart, which if you can get just heroic intuition and arrows out, you can guarantee get 5. So you can clear 5 off of each main scheme, and if you pulled out a side scheme, you can also clear that. So you can clear like 20 threat easy by playing this one card. So only
And
have
I
one
can
copy
help
of it
you
'cause
pay
it's kind
for
of
it
expensive.
too, right? Because it's an
Yeah,
alliance
you can help
card,
me pay for it.
even if I'm not
Yep.
part of that thwart. Cool.
Exactly. So yeah. So I kind of just want to see this go off because I think this is the perfect scenario to kind of have that.
Yep.
Quasar, obviously a guardian for kind of problem solvers, but also he's always going to remove 3 threat as long as we keep all the main schemes under control.
Yep.
And yeah, just some allies and card draw and power in all of us because when you're recurring Nick Fury back into your hand,
Seems good.
you have Ironheart, Cosmo, stuff like that. You kind of
Wait, do you have
ability to pay for them
I
cheaply.
see Cosmo. Do you have Good Boy Lockjaw?
No, I actually had to take him. I took him out. So this is based off another deck have not played on stream, but I have made for Cap that has Lockjaw in it. But in order to fit the Guardians that you want to have problem solvers, you have to make cuts.
Makes sense.
And like Lockjaws, I feel it's one of the first ones you cut because he's not like critical to the deck, even though he's
Lockjaw's critical to every deck. I just want to put that out there. He's critical. All right, so we got Awesome Arden and Victor Von Doom out there. So hello. So Victor says no problem. Arden is dancing to the waiting music. And Awesome Arden says, hey, no one said it was not catchy. And then Victor says, starting to figure out TTS. What is the button or setting you use to focus on a card and make it bigger temporarily? That is the Alt button. And if you hold the Alt button over something, and you can even use the zoom on your mouse wheel to zoom in and out to make it bigger or smaller. So
you can also use the rotate, like Q&E, to rotate it.
Yeah,
but
you
it
can
rotates
rotate the
for
card.
But it rotates for all your previews, so it's kind of annoying.
It is annoying. Well, and some of them, like this one, is like sideways when they put it. So you could rotate with Q and E, just like you'd rotate a normal card. But again, if this one's face up, now everything else is sideways. So it's annoying. Somebody clicked the turn sideways button on it, and yeah.
Well, to be fair, the other side is a scheme, so that is why it's that way.
Yes. Well, it's a setup card. Correct.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, we'll quickly talk about my deck. I am Wolverine. I just realized I did not take out my claws, but there they are. Boom, boom, boom. Wolverine, if you don't know, breaks through tough. He uses his life as a resource. When exhausting a card, he can take damage to pay the cost of an attack card. So that's why there's a bunch of 3 and 2 cost attack cards in there, because why not? I'll just hurt myself to deal it, but if I'm going to be hurting myself, I'm also going to want endurance. So I put that in there. I do heal 2 innately a turn on the hero side, and there's a 6 recovery on the alter ego side, but having more health is never a bad thing. I have allies in the deck, but they are actually, every single one of them is a 2-cost ally, just to have chumpers, basically. They are there to take the beating for me, so I can use my life to pay for expensive cards. So I'm going with a little bit of a weapon strategy here. We have a side holster, so that way, because I already have a weapon innately with my claws, that let me have a hand cannon and Yarnbjorn out at the same time. I'm using X-Jet, hopefully, to help pay for Yarnbjorn. He becomes Retaliate on the other side, so I'm just trying to get as much damage at a time as I can. Or if I'm taking out minions, Yarnbjorn will let me still hit the villain. That's why I chose it over something like, what's the sword? Godslayer. Was because, between X-Jet, I figured I'd have a way to pay for Yarnbjorn just poking at him as I'm taking out minions. We've got Into the Fray to also help take out minions, because there are quite a few in this deck. Deal 6 damage to a minion for each point of excess. Remove a threat from a scheme. Always happy. We got Uppercut. So 3 cost for 5 damage. Seems expensive, but again, I can use my life for that, which makes me happy. Fusillade as well. It's only 2 cost for 5 damage, and I got to exhaust a weapon. But I got plenty of weapons. The claws never need to be exhausted for anything else. So, wait, do I?
You have to exhaust it to pay.
Oh, I do have to exhaust it for that. But
yeah, you've done it last time where you thought you could, and it was like, no, you can't.
Yeah, well, I always seem to have an extra weapon. Like, maybe I don't have the cost for Yarnbjorn, or maybe I just hold off on the hand cannon that time. I mean, 5 damage for 2 is pretty good.
Yarnbjorn doesn't need to be ready to be used.
Ah, well, there you go. There we have it. Now I have something to exhaust. combat training for extra damage, and Weapon X, which Terence made fun of me for. But his attack damage cards are so stinking good that being able to draw through my deck faster to take 1 damage to do that. Now, Terence is like, are you ever going to be down? I'm like, well, I'm not planning on it, but you never know. I mean, I do take a lot of damage as Wolverine, so sometimes I do have to go down. Weapon X lets me draw till I get either that 8 damage card or I think there's one that does like 3 and 3 or something like that. So 6 damage or 8 damage. There's also one that does 4, and then you can keep like attacking different ones. So he's got a lot of cool attack cards in there that are signature cards. So that's why I put Weapon X in. And it also just gets a card out of my deck. It's a 1-cost card. So I originally had Utopia in, but that's a little more expensive. And honestly, I didn't go with X-Men allies. I just went with cheap allies. So while I do have X-Men allies, it's not the main point of this deck. All right, Terence. So that is it. So yeah, I got cards that punch. I got other cards that punch. And I got more punchy punch. So Venom Goblin works a little bit like regular Goblin. Is when revealed, we're going to each take 2 cards. I guess you're going to be first player, which is fine. And also, he is steady and tough. Claim the throne, force response. After Venom Goblin activates against you, move the glider counter on the main scheme with the least threat and resolve its special ability. So at the beginning, it's going to go to Upper Manhattan. We look at the special ability, discard a card from hand. If a symbiote environment is in play, discard the top cards, 4 cards of your deck. So that's the acceleration. When you lose 2 of these, you lose the game. But it becomes a symbiote environment when you flip it over, and it accelerates the other 2 environments. So this one only has 10 before it pops, or 10 per player, 12 and 11 per player. This one's take 2 indirect damage. This one is place a threat on each scheme. And that includes itself, I believe. If symbiote environment is in play, place an additional threat on the scheme. This one's an additional indirect damage. So I don't know, depending on where you are in the game, my least favorite is always discard a card, and that's the one it wants to move to on turn 1. So I always try to remove threat from a different one, so that way, excuse me, that way we don't have to trigger Upper Manhattan, because that makes me sad. All right, Terence, well, you are first. Let me draw and mulligan, so 6 cards. Ooh, got combat training and X-Jet right off the bat, as well as Adamantium Skeleton, which, man, all right, Berserker Barrage, I definitely don't need. Uppercut, I definitely don't need, although it's my only attack card. Do I drop combat training? Because I have Adamantium Armor and X-Jet?
You're not playing all those cards, that's for sure.
Well, that's why I'm asking. And Adamantium Skeleton's just better. It's 4 hit points and the attack.
Combat training.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully I get through my deck pretty quick. Oh, Lunging Strike. There it is. Boom. I can also remove threat if you need me to, Terence. I'm here for you, buddy.
I mean, you draw cards for it.
For what? Oh, and draw 2 cards. Of course, I have to pay for this as well. So, yeah, it would replace...
I mean, potentially, like, it depends on if you're, like, looking to cycle, basically, right? Like, that would be the reason to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta get X-Jet out this turn.
I'm thinking about not playing Mansion.
Okay.
And playing Fury instead. What are your thoughts?
Oh, well, you definitely want to play Super Soldier, right?
Right, but on this side, I have the ally discount.
Oh, I gotcha.
And then I get to draw 3 cards, right?
Yeah, but why do you have to decide that right now? Why don't you just get rid of one of these 2 jobbers instead of Mansion?
No, I'm not dropping Mansion. I'm gonna pay 3, so I'm gonna do Strength and Shield Block.
Well, yeah.
Pay for Fury.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then flip up. Draw 3 cards, flip up, because Fearless allows me to cycle, so I can cycle through another card and see what I get.
Don't forget you get the shield too, right?
Oh yeah, I do get the shield.
I mean, that's another card that you could potentially. I mean,
I'm not pitching shield, bro.
You sure?
It's not like Thor's Hammer where you can recur it back. It's actually a pain to get the shield back if you don't play it, I think, on the opening. So I think I'm going to do this. Fury draws me cards. All right. So flip up. Fearless to draw another card.
Oh, Steve's apartment. Oh, you already flipped up though.
Yeah. And you put Super Soldier in.
I mean, of course. Like, that's a no-brainer. Free resource? Yes,
Maybe
please.
I just hold mansion, pay for
I mean,
shield and
it depends if you want
shield
the
and
helmet.
apartment.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like the helmet, but it seems not as nice as the apartment.
Yes, I agree. Yep, and hold mansion. That makes sense to me. So shield gives you what? +1 defense and retaliate? That seems good. And this gets you a card draw and heal damage, which also seems good.
Yeah, with his three recovery, I feel like it is actually way more important.
Yes.
Um,
So I assume you're double thwarting, or not double thwarting, but thwarting yourself and Fury's thwarting.
yeah.
So what do you want to put stuff on?
I'll just do 2 off of this and then 2 off of this.
Okay. And then move it down here later. We're not going to do the pitch a card, right? That one seems terrible always.
No, I don't want to do that.
No, I never want to pitch a card. I'd rather put an extra threat out that you have to deal with later.
Actually, I thwart for 3, so Fury will do the 2, and I'll do 3 off of that. So it's not 1.
That's right. I forgot you thwart for 3. Why do you thwart for 3?
Fearless determination, +1 for the phase.
Oh, that's a resource that gives you +1 thwart?
It's not a resource, it's an event. It doesn't give you a resource, it's just like it cycles the card to cost 0.
+1
you get to
thwart and
draw,
a
so
card.
like there's basically like, unless you want that mental for like getting rid of, a card up there, like you really need it, you almost always play it, right?
Yeah, no, that makes sense because it cycles your deck faster too, as you said. All right, let's see. Well, I'm definitely paying 1, 2, 3. Sorry, Forge. To play X-Jet. Gonna flip over. I just heal on this side. And I'm gonna pay X-Jet and Track by Scent to play Adamantium Skeleton. Which gives me 4 more hit points, which seems good. And +1 attack, which also seems good. So I'm just gonna go all out. We're doing it from turn 1. So I get to do 8. Exhaust the claws, take 3 damage, and do 8 to him. Right? Oh, and they get piercing when I use this to pay for it, right? Yep. Ignoring his resource, and it gets piercing. Yep, so it's 8 damage with piercing. Goodbye, Tough. And, by the way, just for fun, I'm going to punch him for 3 more, which also has piercing. I mean, you said you wanted me to punch, right? you know, I will help with thwarting if I need to.
I feel like your deck is very singly focused.
I mean, I will certainly, if I need to, I will help you with thwarting. But at this point, not
how do you
gonna
feel
do
about this?
I feel about what?
Powering all of us with a mansion seems great.
And it's super serum. Yep. Oh, and genius as well. Yep, that's all good stuff. Oh, guess what? How do you feel about another lunging strike to his face, along with into the?
Settle down. Let's see what 6 encounter cards we got.
Shuffle a Wolverine card from your discard pile into your deck. I could put lunging strike back in and punch him in the face again for another 8. I'm just saying, it's a thing. All right, Terence, I have one job: punch it in the face. Okay, so there is some chat out there. So Awesome Martin says, "Yay, Cosmo." Is there any lockjaw? No lockjaw, unfortunately.
All right, you only get one dog.
Nine Out says, "Hey all, long time no see, Arden. Having dinner, so won't be typing much, but watching and rooting." Well, we appreciate the rooting, and just root for Wolverine to just punch lots of stuff. Victor says, "No lockjaw. Terrence has brought dishonor to the evening." And Wolverine has an arsenal. Yes, I got all the weapons. That is definitely the Wolverine arsenal today. How come how come Wolverine is so rich with all these guns and a motorcycle? Yes, he's rich with weapons. That is for darn sure today. All right, so let's get to the villain phase. So remind me again how this works. So at the beginning, we're going to add 2 threat to everything.
Yep.
Then...
And then it's after the activation, it goes to the one with the lowest scheme.
And then activates its
So
special.
if it's tied, you get to pick.
Yep. All right, so let's go ahead and have him activate against you. He's going to attack you. I assume you're Furying, or are you saving Fury for me?
I'll be nice. I'll shield block that.
But
I guess it's when you take damage.
Yep.
So he takes 1.
He takes 1, you take 0.
Yep.
All right, and then he's attacking me. And
No, we gotta do this.
oh, yep. So we move this here.
So, yep.
And then we got to add a threat to all the schemes.
Yep.
That's a Terence problem. All right, and then I'm getting punched in the face for 3 plus a flip. Are you blocking? I assume.
Yep.
Oh. Boost. Move the glider counter to the main scheme with the most threat. Place a threat on that scheme. Well, isn't that special?
I assume we'll get a minion and you might actually enter the fray.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I will help.
There's probably a high chance.
There's a small probability that we will get a minion in these 6 encounter cards that we were dealing with.
Alright, so after that activation, we move it, and are you adding a threat to everything?
I think so. I mean, I'm not discarding a card, right? Again, that seems like the worst one, and it's the lowest threat threshold. So, for 2 reasons, I do not want to move it to that one. All right.
Okay.
So, go ahead and draw your card. Let's do these. Oh, cool. There's you. I mean, that's gone forever now, right?
Yep.
That seems good. Here, I'm going to throw it in the trash. So, wait, what does he get? Smoke bombs, 2 bomb counters. After the villain attacks you, remove a counter. Discard an event from your hand with the lowest cost. And it's plus 1 attack.
Yeah, this one kind of sucks. I got exhaustion, which was great because I remember already exhausted.
Yep. With Surge, and then Violent Tendencies attached to the villain. After attached villain takes any amount of damage from an attack, give the attached villain a face down boost card. If the attack dealt 3 or more damage to the villain, discard this card. All right, so we're just giving him.
It's gonna go away.
I mean, I punched for 3, so yeah, that's not gonna be there. Place 4 threat on each side scheme. Or if there is none, we search for one.
There we go. What's it say?
Reveal the side scheme.
Move to the most. So you have to take 2 indirect damage.
I take 2 indirect damage.
This is 6, right?
Yeah, it should be 6. I'm sorry if I didn't do that. Move the glider token to the main scheme with the most and resolve that. Wait, why do I still have... Okay.
Well, that was master plan.
Oh, yeah. After the villain attacks you, remove a bomb counter, exhaust an upgrade and a support you control. I guess the good news is these things only have 2 uses. The bad news is they have 2 uses. Surge. Give the villain a face down boost card. Oh. None of this seems good, Terence. Why am I first player?
Here you go. Here's the menu we're looking for.
Well, I mean, it's just going to be 2 threat removal, unless I punch him for 3 first and then do 5. Is that what you'd like to see?
I mean, it might be worth it.
Yeah, and then I can uppercut him as well. Or no, lunging strike. I'm sorry. What am I thinking? All right.
Well, I was just thinking into the fray, but...
Well, no, I'm going to into the fray, and I'm going to lunging strike. I have enough resources.
Well, not him. You can't do both on one guy. But you mean the boss.
Yeah. Well, unless I want to put Logan's cabin in. And if I do Logan's cabin, I can also regenerative healing. But that means I'm not getting rid of this garbage. But nobody else is going to punch him, right? Oh, but you're going to retaliate. So I could just claw him for 3 and get rid of it. But but then I'm only removing 2 threat.
Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Whatever. It's fine. It's probably fine either way.
So do I just hold on to Logan's cabin now that I think about it because I have X-Jet? And I still lunging strike it into the fray?
I think it's worth playing Logan's cabin even if you never use it just for concussive bombs.
Well, what if I hold it, though, is what I'm saying. Wait. What if I don't exhaust them, right? Who cares?
But you have to.
Oh, it takes the place of X-Jet. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right. I healed for 2. I'm going to punch for 3. I think that is the best move. And then I'm going to into the fray, so I'll take 3 damage.
Did you actually heal, though?
I did. Because don't forget, I took 2 indirect damage.
Oh, right.
So I take 3 more to into the fray, doing 6 damage and removing 5 threat.
Where do you want that off?
What was that?
Where do you want it off?
I mean, I guess the only one was 6, right? Or up here.
No, into the fray is only main.
Oh. So this one?
Sure.
I mean, that means we might have to activate it to take some more damage.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, you can heal yourself to make up for it.
So that's the question. So I'm not going to lunging strike then. Which seems...
Yeah, I mean, what, he gets a boost card, I guess? That's the downside.
The downside, well, he gets more than 1 boost card. He's going to get multiple... I mean, it can hold lunging strike, which is fine. Alright, so I pay for Logan's cabin. And I pay for healing.
Regenerative, yeah.
So that's 4. And I am holding lunging strike for next turn. No, I don't flip down, right?
That's up to you.
I mean, we don't want him scheming for...
Oh yeah, he has an extra boost. Yeah, that sucks.
I mean, I also don't want him punching me for 50 million either, but whatevs, dude.
That's why you just healed, right?
I mean, I guess. I'm going to flip down next turn.
Alright. I'm going to play Super Soldier Serum.
Yep.
I'm going to Apartment. I'm going to flip up. I'm going to Cycle.
And get a plus a thwart. Oh, which doesn't matter at all. Oh, yeah, because you can discard a card to ready yourself.
3, 4.
Huh. Is that worth it?
And you don't. No, I can only thwart for 3.
I mean, depending on what you draw.
Oh, yeah, 5. You draw another 3.
You thwart for 5 minimum. Right? Because 1 card to ready yourself, 2 cards to play arrows. That is 5. But we do have this, as a reminder. We do have this sitting here, which is not great.
The other one, I believe, is an acceleration. Other side schemes.
I mean, acceleration's not terrible because it's only on the one with the token, right?
Yeah, there's one that's like it surges on tech cards if you don't clear it.
Yeah, that seems bad.
It's probably just not worth it. I don't think.
All right. So it's not then.
Yeah, I have 2 more copies of One Way in my deck. And my deck is halfway through.
So you're doing that just to ready yourself?
Yep. And then I'll thwart for 3 off of probably side, right?
Sure.
So I can get rid of it.
I mean, either that or this
turn.
one, so we could trigger this one again. But I think side's probably better because adding 3 extra threat all the time is not what we in the industry...
Well, it's 4 if you don't get rid of the side scheme, because it's every scheme.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yep, so let's focus on side scheme for now. Alright, so we're all good and done?
Yeah.
Let's Ready up and draw up. Ooh, I got a holster.
Oh, there we go. Do we want one way or another?
I got into the fray again.
Dude, where are my thwarting cards, man? Like literally all at the bottom of my deck. I've seen like none of them
draw
this
better.
game.
Draw better, bruh.
I've gotten like all cap cards so far, which has been weird.
All right, so I'm getting attacked with a boost card. Do I defend this?
No, you heal for 5, man.
6.
6. Yeah.
So, well, I mean, if I'm dead, I can't heal. Just as a reminder.
He's gonna do 12 damage.
Okay. That was not the worst thing I've ever seen. So I take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or wait, whoa, why am I adding 2 for each? 5 damage. By the way, he just needed a 3 boost and a 2 boost. Oh, no. Actually, that's not exactly true. So I do take 2 more damage here. So these counters go away. One of them each. So what does this one do? Exhaust an upgrade and a support. And discard the lowest cost event from my hand.
Oh, that does suck, 'cause I do lose one way or another.
Oh
well. It's fine.
So upgrade, I'll exhaust this. Support, I exhaust this. I'm gonna lose into the fray, I feel like. And lunging strike him.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Well.
Or do you want the threat removal? I mean, it is
the threat removal.
4 threat removal.
What, 4 threat?
Instead of 8 damage. That's the trade-off.
Probably threat at this point, right?
Okay. Look at you making me slow play, Terence. I'm just going to punch him in the face for 8. You're like, no, dude. Don't be a dummy.
Alright, so he's attacking me.
Yeah, and your stupid retaliate's going to freaking give him an extra boost card.
For next turn, yeah.
For next turn, yes.
Can't turn off, man.
You can't. You could do this all day. That's what I've heard.
Do I just eat this damage here?
Powell Family Farms says, "Go get them, guys. Love to see the classic heroes like Cap and Wolverine. None of these newfangled comic book heroes."
5. So I'll be taking 7. Oof.
I mean, you defend for 3. It's your call.
Yeah, I feel like I have to defend here.
Oh my god. It's a good thing you defended. This activation is attack. The attack deals indirect damage, which doesn't matter at all. So 3, 6, 7, 8, minus your 3 defense.
5.
8 minus 3 is 5, so you're to 6.
So I have 4.
And he gets a boost card, by the way, just for fun.
Cool.
Why do you have 4?
Because of the 2 indirect.
Oh, I didn't take the 2 indirect from this. Huh. Yeah.
Did you take this?
I did take that, for sure. Yeah, by the way, Terence, I could have easily died there. I got a 0 boost and this boost. Yeah. This is not wonderful.
Well, he was the boost, dude.
Well, yes, that's 2.
I'm just saying,
right.
like
So I get
it would have been a
2
3
cards.
boost versus a 2 boost there.
Yeah. Oh my.
There
That's
you
the
go.
villain. Oh wait, this is gone, by the way. Did you do these things?
I did discard a card, and I have to exhaust a support and the shield, I guess.
Good news is he doesn't get +2 attack anymore. Might be getting it right back. Oh my god. This is it.
That's why you have Into the Fray, I guess.
I mean, Into the Fray is the new... Well, hopefully he doesn't get an activation here. So this is the card that everybody hates. It's the stupidest card ever. Force response. After attached villain activates against you, it activates against you again. Limit once per player. Hero action. Discard any number of attack cards from your hand with a combined cost of 3 or more. Which is also why I took only expensive attack cards. Are you kidding me?
Nice.
Everybody drink.
I thought it's when it goes in the discard, and you don't.
Well, I whatever. Huh. Remember how I used to have cards that did a lot of damage?
I mean, you weren't gonna spend it anyways. You're gonna discard it for the glider anyways, right? So.
I mean, maybe not now. Like, is Omega Red worse than the glider? No, the answer is no, by the way. Well,
no, the answer's definitely no.
Carbonadium synthesizer is in play. Omega Red cannot be defeated. Well, there's that too.
I mean, this is game for me because no AI am taking two attacks, and this first attack will be a 3 boost.
I mean, I could defend for you, but I have 3 life, and then I'd have to take a second attack, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I mean, forget the glider. This is a 3 boost attack, right?
Wait, what do you mean?
He gets an additional.
Give him an additional
Gets
boost
an additional
card.
one. He has one right now from this thing.
All right, let's see how much damage.
And then there's a third one because.
And then we got to move this to
5.
here and take 2 indirect damage. By the way, after that.
Yeah, so it's an 8 attack plus you take 2 indirect.
Yeah, good luck with that. All right, so hey everybody, good news. I saved it at the beginning because Venom Goblin is some bullcrap. All right, so same decks as before. Oops. Here's my claws. Flip over. I'm going first this time. For luck.
You're going first this time?
For luck.
For luck?
Yeah. Because you went first, and that garbage happened to us. So now, I am going first. Oh, we got to give him tough. We got to take 2 boost cards. Alright, everybody. Well, the drinking for Shadows of the Past didn't really last long. 2 Slice and Dices and a Lunging Strike. Well, I don't need all of those. I could keep 1 in the Lunging Strike and just freaking go nuts on him this turn.
That was also what you did last time.
No, last time I only went nuts for 1. This time I have 2. I could double go nuts.
Lunging strike.
What?
You only have 1 Lunging Strike.
No, but Slice and Dice is another 6. Plus the 8 is 14, plus my attack, 15, 16.
So he'd still have 20 health?
Terence, stop making it sound worse than it is. So do I keep Weapon X and Throg? Well, Throg is no good right now. Because he wants you...
Is he not? He's at least a chump.
I mean, but you want to put him in when he gets his tough. So, I mean, the odds of me drawing a 2 ally that isn't him is pretty high. There you go. I have Forge instead. Search your deck and discard pile for X-Men or X-Force support and put it in your hand. Huh. Probably should have discarded a support. It's fine. Oh, I can do that to pay for him, right? Is that what we said?
No, because I feel like it's not your discard when you have to activate his ability.
Huh.
I mean, you want X-Jet anyways, right? So what do you...
Wait, isn't it discard though? Oh,
Search
deck
your
or
deck and discard.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Okay. All right. So I am paying for Forge with Strength. Search for X-Jet. I forgot that it was not discard. Draw that. I'm going to pay Uppercut. And double resource for X-Jet. I'll pay X-Jet for Weapon X.
You have to flip up for it.
What? No! But I want
to
use Weapon X. Dang it! Anti-synergy. Alright, well I used it to pay for Weapon X. I am definitely taking 3 damage. Because that's what I do. To punch him for 8. And then you want me to thwart for 2?
Forge costs one less, right?
Why is that?
Because I am Forging
Oh.
Legend.
Well, I paid it for it with a double resource anyway, so there's not much I could have done there.
Wow.
Sad for
Okay.
you, I know.
It's sad for me.
Thank you for reminding me. Wait. Oh, so you could not have played an ally first. Yeah.
No, because you said you wanted to be first player.
Because I am first player. All right, we'll pretend you went first. Go. You get the double. You
uh,
get the discount. It's fine. And then tell me what you want me to thwart. By the way, we'll pretend you went first.
you're just attacking though, right?
You want me to attack for 2 or well, we're gonna do my because I did not go first. All those were
Okay.
actions. They're not really, by the way.
Were they actions? It's an interesting action.
Oh, the Maddie B22 caught that too. You could pay 1 less. Yeah, sorry. We're cheating. We're switching first player to make Terence get it cheaper. You gonna one way or another? You got skilled
I
investigator.
mean, you might as well, right?
All right, nice.
Let's do the tech one.
What does that one do?
Limitless supply. It's plus card.
I can help you thwart it though.
Yeah, I feel like getting this mid one of these like 3 card or whatever kind of things is awful because the other player something could draw a tech card
Sure.
if it comes out first and then it surges. I'll thwart for 2. 2. So it's 4.
Leave
Drop it down to
3
1.
on this because I got a 1. Or leave 1 on it,
What?
your choice.
Yeah, I can leave 1. 2 and 2.
All right, 2 and 2.
Oh wait, hold on. I get 3 cards, right?
Oh yeah. So before you decide, you get a one way or
Uh,
another again. 3 more
you can't.
cards.
It's max 1 per round.
Max 1 per round. That's right.
Uh,
Maddie B says, "Not cheating. It's called having fun, and Venom Goblin isn't fair."
do I just clear it though, so I can draw a card?
On your turn, yeah. Why not? With Qzar,
Pitch the other one way or another, or hold it for next turn.
how are you going to pay for Qzar?
Well, I pitch one of these to ready.
Oh, I see what you're saying. And then you can play
Probably hold
Qzar.
chill block.
Oh, you can't play Qzar then.
Yeah.
So you're gonna pitch
this.
Qzar? You're not gonna hold
play
one
it.
way or another for next turn?
I mean, I can pitch. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Or what is it? Quasar? I keep calling him
Quasar.
Qzar. It's Quasar.
Eh. It's fine.
It'll be interesting to see what you hold. Do you want me to take 2 off of this so we can do this one, or do you not want to do that?
Yeah. Do whatever you want. Whichever one you want.
All right, 2 off.
Take
I
2
mean, I
and
don't
do
want to
1.
discard a card. I'll tell you that for free. And he'll take 1 off of this.
You're curious what I'll hold? I might
What?
hold all this. I think there's a good chance I'll draw like Coin Carrier Helic or Mansion or something with a one way or another in my hand.
I mean, you only... Oh, with the one way or another. I was about to say, you're only drawing 2. What are you talking about? All right. So, ready up, draw up.
And then shield block I probably want on this turn. Yeah, and then I have Fearless.
Ooh, I have Berserker's Frenzy, which is good if I choose not to go down, which is apparently a thing. By the way, no attackies, but I do have Track by Scent. So there's that. And Spider Girl. I could stun and confuse a minion. Alright. Where are you at? We're going to add 2 threat to each. Boink, 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 boink. Dink, dink. Alright, you get attacked first.
Yep.
You taking it?
Oh wait, crap. Hold
Crap,
on.
what? You forgot to get
I
your
forgot
shield.
to draw a shield.
So are you going to use any of those cards to pay for the shield?
Yeah.
So you had these 3 cards in your hand.
Yeah, probably the Power in all of us.
All right.
I didn't know I was gonna draw the one way.
Yep. All right. So what are you doing about this attack?
Shield block.
All right. Would have been for 5.
Takes 1.
Wait, how did he take damage already? Oh
You
yeah,
just
turn
lunge
1.
attack him.
Turn 1. I forgot. I did what Wolverine does. Smacks things in the face. Do I take this? Oh no, I've got Forge. Never mind. No, I'm blocking this.
Yeah, I'm trying not to chomp with arrows, but you know, we'll see what comes out. Oh, I'm sad about that.
Reveal this card. While there are no other symbiote environments in play, this card is considered a symbiote environment, which means we're going to put 2 on this scheme and 1 on every other scheme.
Yep.
Or discard the top 4 cards of your deck in addition to discarding a card from your hand. Well, that's not going to happen. Although the odds of it happening in a minute are pretty high. Right? Because we got to put 2 on this one. 1 on all these. Right? That's real sad. Or do we not want to do that? Should I discard the card?
How sad would you be if you discard a card?
Is it a random card?
No, you get to pick.
I mean, it's not great.
I guess the question is, are you going down?
I mean, I may have to. Well, I'm about to get punched in the face. Oh, no, I already got punched in the face.
No, you chomp with Forge. You don't know what's going to happen.
I mean, there's freaking ton of cards here. I mean...
Because if you're going to go down, then you
it's
probably
hard to
don't
say.
care
I'll
about
be at
Berserker
9
Frenzy.
health. I don't need to go down. Right now.
Oh, yeah, and you do have regenerative healing.
And I have regenerative healing, so if I get punched...
You can put the threat up if you want.
Alright, that's what we did. Oh, this is terrible. This is terrible. I mean, do I want? The answer is no, I don't want. I don't want to put any threat anywhere. Can we just cheat and not do that?
No.
Alright. Oh, Forge is very dead, though. Alright, Terence.
So how bad does it look?
Surge. Let's just start that.
Put threat on everything.
And because there's an environment, we put 2 on it. Oh.
Get the Goblin Glider.
Wait, what? Are you serious? And I don't have any attack cards, by the way. And Shadows of the Past. Wait, where's the glider?
I don't know where the glider is. It's in his deck, isn't it?
Yep. So does he immediate? Oh no, he didn't activate. Oh, and all of this came out? Oh.
Well, this is Shadows, right? So I lose 3 health here.
When revealed in player order, each player discards the top card of the encounter deck and takes 1 damage for each boost icon discarded this way. By the way, Baron Zemo. You're welcome.
2 for me.
And I take 1. I still have 3 cards to go, though. So we'll see how this goes. If he activates against me, it might be a quick scoop again. Give it to Logan. I think I do, right?
Well, it's up to you. You do have regenerative healing in your hand, so that's kind of your call.
I can get rid of Glider with Weapon X. Mr. Don't Get Weapon X. Right? Is that correct?
Going.
I'm just pointing it out. Oh. Hey, you know how you wanted to search for a side scheme?
Well, they're all out now.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was joking.
You have to activate this, so you put threat on everything.
Most threat.
Oh, most. That's this one. So you have to take 2 damage. Plus whatever the symbiote thing says. Take
Wait,
1
what?
additional.
Okay.
Cool.
I get to get an encounter card when I'm defeated too. When I defeat this guy. All right. So I'm
That's
first
cool.
player.
Yep.
Why am I exhausted? Oh yeah. Oh man.
Kind of sucks. I can't thwart with Baron Zemo out as well.
Well, I still think I get my thing to get rid of the glider, right?
Yep.
I mean, the question is, do I just stay down?
Is that hero action?
It's staying down.
Yeah, it's a hero
Staying
action.
down is definitely
No, yeah, discard any
it's
number
definitely
attack.
a heroic action. Search my discard pile for a lunging strike. Oh no, that's not how it works at all.
No, it's discard cards until you get an identity specific card.
Well, that's less good.
There you go.
I mean, that's 2. I don't have a third. Oh,
That's
whoa,
correct.
whoa, whoa. I should have put my cabin down first and shuffled lunging strike in. That was stupid.
Okay.
Well, I didn't, so. I can use X-Jet, right?
Not on this side.
Is that true?
That's true.
All right. I'll discard.
Berserker Barrage. Berserker Frenzy.
I mean, do you want me to kill some stuff? I can kill this guy.
Well, I just mean Berserker Frenzy ain't happening, is all.
Which one? Oh,
Berserker.
yeah.
If you wanted to pay for Logan's Cabin.
Right. And then we'll search. Should I put a regenerative healing in or a lunging strike? How many attack events do you have? You have nothing, right?
So far, I have nothing, yes. I guess
So-
I can just play Fearless and see what I draw. Okay.
Flipping up seems very not great.
I mean, you're
mean-
healing yourself, right?
Well, I'm healing myself, but then do I put Spider Girl in? Or, I mean, I could punch all 3 of these and be down to 2 life and no blocking. Are you okay with that?
So you heal yourself up to 6, and then
And
you
then
Berserker
I-
Barrage.
Berserker Barrage and kill these 2, get this one down to 1 life. And then somebody'd have to punch that.
Spider Girl.
I mean,
Oh,
I
you
can't
can't
do
play
Spider
Spider
Girl also. Like, that's the problem. Or I could track by scent. I mean, it seems like we're in a
No.
bad spot.
Yep. It's fine. I can sack Eros to do it, I guess.
To kill him.
Yeah.
Or
I
to
mean,
block
I
for
have
me.
to be. I have to be able to thwart, right?
Well, I mean, you just punch him yourself, discard a card, and then you can thwart once. I mean, Eros is going to chump for me, right? I'm going to be at 2 life here. Or are you going to block for me? Like, if you want me to take all these out, I will be at 2 life. And an extra encounter card, by the way.
Well, I mean, how? Yeah, I mean, I guess if I punch, I can only thwart 1 time.
I mean, the other option is I just put Spider Girl in, and I don't punch any of these. I could do 2 to this one in that situation.
Yeah, that's just not good enough for me, I guess, to be able to thwart, because I can't hit for 3.
So then, do you want me to do what I said?
Yeah,
All right.
I guess so.
All right, we'll see how this turns out. All right, so I heal for 4 with my regenerative, so I'm up to 6. But then, I mean, I could take 2 and just kill myself here.
Take 2.
I could take 2 damage to use my claws to Berserker Barrage. All right, so 1, 2 cards to play for.
But that still doesn't let you play Spider Girl, right?
No. I'm in trouble. All right, deal 4 damage. If it defeats an enemy, take 2 damage and repeat it. So 4 damage, dead. Take 2 damage, 4 damage, dead. Take 2 damage.
Wait.
4 damage.
You can only... Oh. You can only do...
Do as much as you want.
That. Oh, because you can keep repeating it.
Why?
Nice.
Yeah. Why can't I repeat it? As long as it keeps defeating enemies. Yeah, no.
You get an
Valkyrie
encounter
only
card?
wishes she was that good at... Oh, yeah.
You get an encounter card, though?
I do, because I killed this jobber. When defeated, deal the engaged player an encounter card. Yep.
Okay.
I mean, this is not... The hits keep on coming, says 9 down. Yeah, we're just getting punched in the face.
Do I just double make an entrance? Oh, wait,
What
no,
is
I
it?
gotta kill him first. Right? You kill him.
I mean, you could use arrows if you wanted. I guess it's the same thing, right? Oh, no. Oh, you could double make an entrance on one thwart?
Yeah.
All right, so that adds 4 to your thwarting. Is that right? By the way, I mean, we lost, right? There's no way we can get rid of the glider.
Yeah, there's no way you can get rid of the glider.
And I'm up with 2 life.
Guess burn this.
What does that get rid of?
Extra counter card.
But we still are treated as if we have a symbiote environment in play, right?
Yeah. I mean, unless you want me to do faster your mass, I can clear that too. Instead.
No. I mean, dude, there's no way we're living through this. You got your helmet up?
Yeah,
All right.
in case I die.
I mean, you're not the problem here. There's somebody else that is much more of a problem. So if you block for me, does that count? He will attack a second time, but will that be against you? How does that work? Because then, if he activates against you again, he wouldn't activate it another time, right? Is that a way to get rid of one? Is if you block for me?
After attachment activating against you, it activates against you again.
Now, he's considered activating against me, though, I guess, right? Or we don't know.
No, I mean, I think I become the target, right?
You become the target, but who does it count as him activating against?
I guess it is you, right? Technically, probably.
Depends how nice we want to be. If anybody in the chat knows the answer to that, let us know. I'd like not to die, but we might be scooping again. So wait, this acceleration only goes on the main, though, right? Or the one the glider's on?
Yep.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Does that pop it?
No, 12 per player, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Nice.
I mean, we're not as close as it feels like we are to losing the schemes. This is the problem. Like, not the main. Like, the main is a problem, but it's not the main problem. This is awful.
Alright. He's sacking you. Eros is defending.
All right, so how are we playing this?
I guess we'll just do, like, 4 activations in total.
So he's attacking me again.
Alright, I'm defending.
I mean, you're going to die. Oh, you get the helmet, I guess.
That's why I played it.
So
I defend all
you
that.
only take 1.
I just won.
Oh, crap.
Takes
Hold
one
on.
back.
So this would have moved after the first activation. So who discards a card? You or me?
Discard a card.
So you're going to have to discard 4
Probably me.
cards. I mean, Is that right? And hold on. And because it's
I
a
guess
symbiote
so.
environment, take 8 cards off the top of your deck. I mean, just flip your whole deck. Because you're going to do 8 more in a second. Is that right?
Yep.
So Matty B confirms, activate again. So he's activating before anyone can declare defending, so he would attack Peter again. So you're decked. So you get an extra encounter card, because those are fun. What?
No, this is after the 2 attacks against me, dude.
Oh, touche. So the first...
What's this card for you?
I don't know. Oh, because I killed the...
Oh, because you defeat the chumper.
don't worry. We're not done yet.
All right,
Hey.
so 0. That's good.
So that's only 3. And then, hold on. Discard a card and 4 off your deck. Well, you already did the 4 off your deck.
Oh, that means this thing gets shuffled back in, though, right?
Well, yeah. So you should discard 2 cards and shuffle them all back in.
All right. This one hurts more. 6. So I have 1 health.
Yep. And then this guy attacks you.
Then I die?
Wait, does he attack you twice? How does that work? No,
Yeah,
he activates. So you die, but you have your helmet, right?
No, but this did 6 to me, which kills me, right?
So he attacks you for... No, you said you were down to 1. Were you wrong?
I have 6 health, and now he's attacking me for 6.
By the way, he gets retaliated on twice. Let's not forget that, shall we? Well, the second time he doesn't if he kills you.
So now my health is 1. And then this guy, if he attacks me, I die.
Well, so I block for you.
Yep.
So you're at 1 health. The helmet's gone, though, right?
Yep. It's job.
I mean... So he killed you the second time, so he didn't get the retaliate for that. Okay. So you did deck.
Yep.
And then we draw these cards. All right.
Cool.
I mean, sure. Of all the things I'm not worried about.
Sure.
Okay. So 8 threat on side schemes.
Alright, now he attacks me again. With a double.
He can't
boost.
activate a second time against you, or a third time, or whatever. Wait, why does he have a triple boost?
Gets 1, gets an additional 1, and then gets 1
All right,
for the activate.
you want to run it one more time?
Sure.
See if we don't get jobbed on turn 1 again. All right, this time we'll look at now. Determining first player. How are you supposed to do that? Are you supposed to do it ahead of time? Or...
I think so.
All right. So what do we think? I guess you should be first player, right?
Well, sure.
Does
I
it
don't know if
matter?
It matters that much. It does if you want to play Nick Fury, I guess. How important's helmet? Not very important, right?
What are my claws called? Because I shuffled them in.
Wolverine's claws.
Psylocke's not even in my deck. What is going on here? That is such a weird...
It's like the Ron deck.
Yeah, when I was searching, it was not searching my deck. That was weird. Yeah, you go first, because I got a thing going on over here. Because I shuffled it, so now I have no idea where they are.
What is the thing that's going on?
The thing is that I'm an idiot, and I shuffled, and I'm only halfway through my deck. So you go ahead and determine your mulligans and all that. While I am un-idioting myself. Oh, I just drew 6 more cards because of freaking lag.
Nice. You think I drop Mansion?
I mean, you play Mansion turn 1, right? Is that what you're asking? You'd be defeated by an enemy attack. Instead, set your hit points to 5. Ready your identity and discard this card. That seems good, but very expensive. Jubilee seems very good as well. So I'm getting rid of this. I'm getting rid of this. I'm getting rid of this. Do I keep Weapon X or get rid of it? I mean, I'm not playing I Got Better. I could play Jubilee. Alright, I'm just holding Jubilee and drawing 5.
I didn't listen to your advice, by the way. Yeah, Chump Mansion.
So you're first player, apparently. So, go. Oh, you already started. Do 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 do. Just let Peter be first player. You are 0-2 with Terence as the first player.
We can restart if you want.
No, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. Everything is fine. But don't forget to get your shield, dude. You forgot to get your shield.
Oh, okay.
Well, is that what you just drew? So, yes.
Yeah, that's just what I just drew. Do I grab an ally? Probably should, right?
I mean, we need chumpers. I think that was abundantly clear after last game. That's stupid. I can't believe with all the 3 attack cards, I got 0 3 attack cards, by the way. That was bull Maduki as well. To get rid of that stupid glider. Although we didn't even survive the turn the glider came out, did we? Oh no, we did. Just neither of us could get rid of it.
Alright, so that goes down to 2. Do I dump all this stuff? Maybe I don't yet. Yeah, okay.
By the way, I can't job myself turn 1, so you're probably happy about that.
I don't care. So we cleared that. This was my discard.
Oh,
Let's fetch.
How'd you clear it? By discarding a card?
No. I thwart for 3.
Oh,
Fury
Fury.
thwart for 2.
Got it.
I will grab Ironheart.
Now look at you grabbing extra allies.
Let's put Ironheart. Draw a card. Let's put this out. Ironheart will thwart for 1.
Well, I was going to get that. Probably myself. Although it's very sad because I'm putting Jubilee out this turn. But I really don't have a choice. I got nothing else to thwart with. And I don't want to discard a card, do you? Like, honestly, I don't care about adding extra threat here.
I mean, she can thwart anything you want, so. But I'm holding shield block because that seems important.
Yeah. All right.
I'm done, I guess.
So
sad to lose Mansion, but
I mean, I'm sad to lose. I am putting Adamantium Claws out though, because 4 more hit points seems good based on our last 2 games. I'm gonna put Jubilee out, call the villain. So Jubilee and Wolverine both get +2 attack against the villain this turn, but doesn't matter. I am thwarting for 2, and Jubilee will attack for 3. Oh,
doesn't he have tough?
He does have tough. Gosh darn
Why don't I just do 1, and then Jubilee can do 1 here, and then you can attack.
Yeah, that makes more
tough.
sense. Yep. So Jubilee clears it, and I attack for 5.
5. Yep.
And piercing.
It's basically the most Angel will ever do.
The most what?
damage we'll do all game, it feels like.
I mean, usually I do like 8 on turn 1. What are you talking about?
I just mean that's it. That was the one freebie turn we got.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. All right. So 2, 2, and 2. He attacks you.
Shield block.
So he gets retaliated on. Boom. All right. And then this goes here. We had 1 threat to each. And we keep going. Maddie B says, 3rd time's a charm. So they say. Here we go. All right. So I get attacked. I'm just going to take it to my face.
I'll jump.
Oh. Well, my healing's going to do nothing then. But yes.
I mean, you can take it
no,
if you want.
No. It doesn't make sense. You are correct. All right. There we go. I'm sure that there will be another attack at some point somewhere. Yeah, maybe we just went 2 balls to the wall at the beginning here.
I never went balls to the walls, to be fair.
To be fair, I definitely did. Oh, what the what?
I can get rid of it. If I don't get screwed more, I can get rid of it.
That seems not great. Okay. Hey.
This also seems not great. Also seems not great. But I appreciate it came out in that order.
Why? What would have happened? Oh, we have to do the special
Well,
ability.
this would have made
hold
it.
On.
Yeah. Yeah, so this would have happened.
So hold on. This happened first.
Yeah, so I appreciate
So you take 2
that
damage
happening
instead
first.
of 3. I got it.
Yes. Yeah.
You take your 2?
I did take my 2.
All right. Okay. Okay. +3 hit points? Are you kidding me? Okay. Oh, yay.
You know, in the grand scheme of things, it could be much worse.
Could it? For you?
For opening turn, I feel like it'd be much worse.
I mean, I have stupid symbiotic monstrosity with this stupid thing, giving him 3 hit points. Now, if I take him to 6
if we clear
damage
this
and you clear it, we're okay.
Question though. Now, let's see. If I need to burn this, can you thwart Festering Mass for 2?
Yes. Yes, I can. What's Forge do?
Or do we care more about getting rid of Joyride? I guess we take the extra card.
I mean, we're going to take the extra card. It is what it is. And we're not even looking at the main schemes. I mean, we got to get rid of this.
Yeah, I
got to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this too. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Exhaust this and take 2 damage to do Berserker's Barrage.
Yep.
Kill him. Take 2 damage. Does that still get piercing because I used my claws? The whole card does, right? That should be right. So he's at 4. Then,
I mean, you play Forge, right?
Well, I might play Berserker's Barrage to get that other 2 damage on him. I don't know how else I'm going to do it if I need to thwart for 2.
That's true.
And then I use Forge to pay for endurance. I mean, it's sad to lose Forge, but I do have an ally to chump with. So yeah, Berserker Barrage for 4. Puts this up to 8. I mean, unless I don't get rid of the monstrosity. I mean, that's the other option. The other option is to play Forge.
He does retail for 1, so you do take that 1 damage.
Yeah, so I could Berserker Barrage, or I could Forge instead, but I won't be able to play X-Jet anyway this turn. but I'd have a chumper to basically chump his attack to counter not killing him, right?
Yep.
Well, why don't I hold on to Berserker Barrage? It doesn't make sense to kill him now when I could kill him during your activation. So I'm going to Endurance.
So you can do the Berserker Barrage then?
I'm going to do it as an action for your turn. That way I don't take the Retaliate. And if I kill him, I can take 2 damage to do 2 more damage to the boss. Because why wouldn't we do that, right? I'll trade 2 damage for 4 on the boss. I think, right?
It's hard to make that call.
I mean, is what it is. I'll still be barely under my starting hit points.
So I'm going to pay for this. 1 physical, energy, wild.
Okay.
Gets rid of We Are One.
Seems good.
And then I will thwart for 3 to clear the side scheme. And then hold Ironheart for chump.
Yep. Yeah, we both have a chumper. So before we pass the turn, I'm going to Berserker Barrage, kill him, because his hit points just went down. And then I'm going to take the 2 damage to do 4. Alright. So, ready up and draw up. Fusillade into the fray, uppercut.
Alright. So 2 on everything.
Okay. And then he attacks me. Do I take it or do I chump this one?
I mean,
I'm not going to die, but I mean, I guess because of the 2 indirect damage, I'll block it. And I'll just take the 2 indirect damage. So I'm going to block the attack, because this is also the most he'll ever attack for. He's attacking for 4. Well. Yeah. Alright. So that's down to 1. Jubilee's gone, and I take 2 indirect damage.
Yep.
Alright.
Same for me.
Okay. So you take 2 indirect damage. Gets rid of that, though.
3 cards.
Wait,
oh,
what?
wait, we gotta do this. We gotta do this first.
Oh, so after me, this goes here. 1, 2, 3.
And on Joyride.
1, 2, 3. Unless you want to discard a card. That's your choice.
And Joyride goes up too.
Wait, what? Oh.
All schemes.
I mean, would you rather lose a card?
No, it's fine. I'm just saying it also goes on Joyride.
Yes. All right. So I take 2 cards. You take 1. It's like I have a symbiote suit. All right. So violent tendencies. We know.
Yeah,
that
it's
one.
worse. It's like he has a symbiote suit.
Oh,
that's good for
well,
you,
that's actually
right?
good. Yeah, with
yeah, that's what we want.
Yeah.
It's not what we want, but
schemes. That's
fine.
Okay. It's not the worst thing.
Resolve the ability, so put 1 on everything.
Well, first he schemes for 3, right?
No. The boost goes first. So resolve the scheme of the glider counter.
And
so
then
1 on
add
everything.
3.
And then
this moves to here, and you have to discard a card.
Yeah. Shield toss, probably, unfortunately.
I mean, you're not gonna need shield. You're not gonna need to be doing damage.
No, you just want cards to ready and stuff.
All right, I can do 4 threat removal.
Let's do this.
Wait, did he attack you? Oh no, he attacked your ally. That's right.
Okay.
We need at least 1 chumper after this turn, because he's gonna have an extra boost card, by the way. So don't kill your dude. Well, I should have 1. I should have Spider Girl.
1, 2. So that's 5 for me. Should I do off of Joyride, probably?
Yeah. And then I can do the last 4. Do you want me to do it now?
4?
Do you want me to do it
right
now?
You can't do 4.
Sure,
This is main scheme only.
Dang it! Just kidding. Can't do 4.
So, question: Do I?
Do you?
Do you flip down to not deal with this thing, or do we just not care?
I'm gonna kill it, and then you chump it, right? Which is way better than chumping. That is way better than adding that much threat to the main, isn't it?
Yeah.
I would think. All right. I still think I ended the fray, right?
100%.
So I take 2 damage, and then I lose 3, and exhaust this to end the fray. So that's 2, and then I'm going to remove 4 from this bottom one. Although I don't know that this is the right one. I mean, is it better for us to just discard cards?
Might be, 'cause it's only 1 card each, right? Versus
Yes.
8 threat.
So do I just take it off of this? Get this one super low?
Sure.
And then...
Well, if you do it, yeah, that's fine. I was saying if you do it off of this, then it's also 8 and 8 and 11. So then we can pick.
Yeah, I guess you might want to take 2 damage instead. 2 damage or lose a card depending on your economy on next turn.
Yep.
I think I Spider Girl just to have a chumper, right?
Yeah, that's probably
and
the
I
right
hold
call.
Slice and Dice?
Yeah, in case Advance Glider comes out.
Yeah. Why am I laggy tonight? No one knows. 1, 2 to put in Spider Girl. She doesn't stun or confuse anything, but that's fine. Oh, I'm going to punch the boss. 4, 3.
He gets a boost.
Yep. And then I'm going to punch the boss for 2.
Oh.
That's what I do, Terence. That's what I do. Wait, did I ever get the +3 hit points for this? Endurance? Yeah, I got that turn
so.
1. Or no.
No, that was this. This was the last turn.
I don't remember getting +3 hit points. I don't remember ever being that low, was I? I don't know. I don't remember getting those 3 hit points, but I also don't remember not getting them, so it's fine.
I don't think you got them.
I don't think I got them either, but it's
Just
fine.
give them to yourself.
We need all the help we can get.
Basically.
What's Slice and Dice? Did I already
tech for advanced glider?
Yeah, so hold it is what you're saying.
I think so.
I mean,
you basically like kick yourself in the foot if we draw it, right? Like
6 damage is not the worst thing in the world either, honestly. Okay.
So 1 on everything.
2 on everything.
2 on everything.
Well, not everything, not on this. Okay. And then he is attacking you. You're jumping? He's got with an extra boost.
Yep.
Oh. Advanced
By an
Glider's
extra
not in
boost, you
play.
actually mean... No, you do the boost. Give him 2 more boost cards.
Wait, what?
The boost card. Give the
if
two
the
more
villain
boosts for the
has 2 additional boost cards for this activation. Hey, we got rid of Shadows. We got rid of Swinging Assault. That actually...
Dude, that wouldn't hurt, man. That's like
and wait, was that the one that brings the glider in play also?
Yeah, it brings the glider in. Yep.
Oh my gosh. That was like the best turn ever. All right, do you want to take 2 damage or discard a card from your hand? Choice is yours.
I'd probably just take the 2.
2 damage. So that puts a glider here.
Yeah, I really want to get problem solvers soon, but we'll get there.
All right.
All right, you jumping?
Yes. Move the glider counter to the main scheme with the most threat. Place a threat on that scheme. So that happens now.
Yeah.
And then, after his activation, he moves to... Do I take 2 damage?
2 damage or discard a card. That's your call.
Berserker Frenzy's a tough one to lose. Slice and Dice? I have no extra resources, right?
You just take the damage because you have Regenda up healing?
Well, I'd love to put out Combat Training and Berserker Frenzy this turn, honestly. And say screw it to those other 2 cards.
So then you have to take the 2 damage.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the economy.
Right. So I'll take 2 damage, but I'll heal that right back.
Alright.
Yeah, I can kill him with 1 attack if I get Combat Training.
There you go.
Alright, well, I've got Slice and Dice. So Berserker Frenzy is not happening, so I'll just Regenerative Healing with that.
Alright, well, you're first player.
Alright, so I get 2 health. Put in Combat Training. So that makes me attack for 4 now. Discard Slice and Dice to discard this glider.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's... Everybody should drink for that, by the way. I'm drinking my water. Oh, getting rid of that glider feels so good. Are you getting rid of Joyride? Oh, I need to take a second card. You were first player. You need to take a second card. Joyride. Sorry. Okay.
Huh.
I mean,
Patrol is main. You can't thwart main scheme, right?
Yes. I assume you want me to take out the Thrall?
Yeah. I mean, fine either way. Yeah.
I mean, they're the exact same.
Yep.
Or do you need me to thwart 2? Now.
Yeah, I'll take out the Thrall.
Okay. Dead. Alright. Your turn, sir. Oh, Regenerative Healing. I'm sorry. Well, I guess I don't have to make that call now, but... Yeah, guess what? Regenerative Healing.
Okay.
Ooh, Agent 13.
I need to ready. And... I have Thor for 4. And put this out. First.
I don't see what you put out. What? Oh, Skilled Investigator. Draw a card. Yep. Don't worry about striking. That is not your job. I guess you can't get it.
I'm thinking about flipping down, actually.
Oh, you can. You have a Queen Carrier, by the way.
I do have Queen Carrier.
So you can get Agent out.
Can she thwart main?
Why wouldn't she be able to?
Patrol doesn't block me, right?
Wait, why? Wait, is Patrol say you can't remove threat or you can't thwart?
You can't thwart.
Matty B looked back and said he doesn't think I gave myself the hit points, by the way. So that would put me up to 17 now? Alright, I'm full.
Well, I'm just wondering, should I flip down? I would get the ally discount. Yes. I'd be able to heal and draw a card, right?
I mean, that all seems good.
Alright, so let's do that. Let's flip down, get a hit point, draw a card. So she costs 2.
And you have Cosmo for next turn.
And then I can play Cos for next turn, and then she can jump if she has to for you.
No, I have 17 hit points now.
But you're also at 17. So we can have her thwart again. So she removed 2, and then also another 2. So now it's like 10, 10, 10. And then he'll cost 1 next turn, right?
Hold on. Is Patrol really you can... Like, I think she can do her 2, but can she really thwart?
Yeah, because that's what I was wondering. I think you only applies to you, the hero, right?
Is that true? Brent said
Allies.
you overpaid because you used the Quinn carrier.
Oh, I also use the Quinn carrier. Yes.
Could you have
Oh.
readied yourself then?
No, I already did it because I was exhausted from exhaustion.
Well, you have to use the Quinn carrier or pay this. You can't untap both of them.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm not. Like, do I
You're
hold
not
shield
holding
block?
shield block?
I could hold shield block.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know if it makes a big difference.
Nah, just discard
If you
it
hold
then.
shield block, it'd be like holding it for a whole turn, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah, that seems.
it's also, it's like also
We've
not
also
taking that damage on
died.
that next turn, and it feels like real good, right? So,
Right.
I don't know. Probably worth it. It's fine. I'll hold it.
So you use Quinn's carrier instead.
Yeah, sure. Ready up.
All right.
Let me look this up. I think it is true though.
Well, yeah, because if not, she could have done. I mean, you just hold her, right?
Oh, it says the 1.4 rules updated the terminology supposed to say allies are blocked by guard and patrol.
Okay, so add the 2 threat back on, and just take the damage off of her, right?
Yeah.
You're just not going to thwart. I mean, it makes sense that they would be blocked by guard and patrol. All right. I'm going to draw my 5. I have Into the Fray, so I can definitely take care of your buddy over there. I also have X-Jet and Slice and Dice. All of these things make me happy in case a second glider comes out. All right. I am the first player. Wait, I just get 1 card? All right, so he's attacking for 3 first. I'm just going to take it to my face. And it's just 3. I'm going to take 2 more. Do I take 2 more? Or do I discard a card? I could pay for X-Jet. I do have an extra card. I'm just going to discard a card. Discard Logan's Cabin. It's fine.
Hold on.
Oh, I don't have an extra card. I'm going to take 2 damage. Sorry. Because I can play Logan's Cabin with X-Jet. So, we're good. You should be at 14 hit points, Peter. My comment was from when you were at 7 and question if you gave yourself the hit points. Right. But if I never gave them to myself then I should have been at... I should have had 3 more. If I never gave myself the 3, then going from 14 to 17 was the right move, right? Alright, so what just happened?
I am stunned, and he thwarts for 2.
Schemes.
And so now I have to discard a card. Do you have a way? You do.
To do what? I'm getting rid of this dude and removing 4.
Chance encounter. Can...
If I need to lose those 3 hit points I added, that's fine. I can do that.
Alright, go ahead. Take your card.
So we only get 1 card each? Oh. Why do you have a second one?
Decking.
Oh. Huh.
This deck's the deck, though. Pretty sure. No side schemes.
So again, is the +1 acceleration, it's only on wherever the glider is, right?
Yep. Yeah, because it says when you do it, transfer all the main schemes to the something. Like when it's defeated. I think when... Move the glider counter an each acceleration token. Yeah.
Oh, so the acceleration token just goes on this one specific environment.
Yep.
Interesting. And the glider's still here, though.
Oh, hello.
Alright, well, I can't take care of all this stuff. Unless I slice and dice. Would you rather me slice and dice?
It's like what? It's like 1 short of like slice and dice, right?
Yes.
All right, I'm first player.
I mean, I could punch your dude. And just flip down and not have to deal with my dude.
Hold on.
Wait, hold
Draw
on.
a card.
Before you do anything, I should into the fray, right? Correct?
Oh, that's up to you. I was just healing and drawing a card and deciding what to do.
Alright, well, I take 3 damage to into the fray. Killing him. And taking 4 off of which one? The damagey one?
Sure.
Although we keep dying to damage, so maybe that's not the right one, but...
Oh, wait. So before I go up, I should for sure play Quasar, right?
Yes. I mean, you get a discount, right? Or Cosmo, if you can't afford Quasar.
1. Quasar. So remove 1 off of each scheme.
Seems good.
Do I... Oh, man. But should I have played... Wait, do I play Super Soldier Serum first?
I mean, I always play that first, right?
And then I can do...
And then you could have used it.
1, 2... Yeah.
That'll pay
But I
for
could play-
Cosmo. You don't need shield block if you have Cosmo, right?
Yeah.
So why don't you use shield block to pay? Shield block plus 1 of the resources you paid gets you Super Soldier. Right? And then you use Super Soldier and the other Super Soldier to pay for Quasar. And then you pay 2 for Cosmo. That's all, right?
Yeah. But I will thwart for 3 off of, I guess, the threat one.
Okay.
That gets it down to 10. Agent 13 will thwart for 2.
Off of which one do you want?
Probably the top one because it has an acceleration as well. Do you
Okay.
need him to do damage, Quasar? He hits for 2.
I mean, that's your call. I could do 4 myself here or 4 myself here. If I'm flipping down, we don't give a crap about this guy. But I don't know if I'm flipping down. Like that's.
Are you doing slice and dice?
I can't unless I don't
Okay,
get
so you're not
X-Jet.
doing slice and dice.
No.
That seems like a terrible idea.
Yeah.
All right, so Cosmo, what we'd say this is.
Treachery. Always treachery, baby. So
All
what
right,
did
so
you do with
he's
him?
doing just thwart, I assume.
Yeah, you're trying to get him even.
Yeah, then you kind of just have the choice, right? Seems nice.
You would have to thwart the top one to make them even. If you do 2
Yes.
here, that's not going to make me sad ever. I don't
You
need
want me
it.
to do 2 there?
Well, I don't need it right now, but like if we get the overkill next turn, it helps us thwart. If I can kill him with my normal attack next turn, then slice and dice would kill him 3 and 3, right? Like there's so many things that make 3 a better number than 5.
I mean, I'm happy to do 2.
Yeah, I mean if you have to randomly throw 2 somewhere, that is a good place to do.
Yeah, I mean, it was either that or get this down to 8, because then it would be even across the board. That would be the only thing.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to want to discard a card next turn, though. Maybe I'm wrong. All right, so I gain 2 at the beginning of my turn. I kill this dude.
Are you flipping down?
I mean, I think I have to. Only because I don't want to take 3 additional damage, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
So X-Jet pays for Logan's cabin.
And then you actually had to use it.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I think the answer here is... I got better wouldn't be the worst idea ever, but it's so dang expensive. I think it's just my normal... Ooh, or do I put Jubilee in?
Julie is a good call. I think the other option is you put Berserker Frenzy in.
Is that the one that lets me do 4 to multiple different things?
No, Berserker Frenzy is the one that every time you take damage, you get to draw a card.
Yeah, and I don't plan on going down again for a while, if ever. I mean, I can...
Like, potentially, if we do it, you could like exhaust a heal to get up to 17, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then play that, and then basic card draw for days.
Yeah, it seems good. I think that's a good call.
And then it's a permanent that's on the board.
And I do get to shuffle something else in next turn too. So, although this one I get to draw right now, which feels nice. Okay. So we're done. Ready up. Draw up. I actually get 6 cards.
Ooh.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna see what you're oohing about in a minute, but let's just add our threat here.
Problem solvers. Remove like 5 threat off of each scheme.
I mean, that seems good. I hope we get some side schemes, right? Like, because, I don't know. I don't really care about the main schemes that much at this point.
I mean, it gives you a lot more breathing room to do stuff, to like flip down and on things.
True.
You just remove 15 threat off the board.
All right, so what do you want to do? He's attacking you.
I think I just jump with Cosmo, right?
Okay. So that damage you prevented, nothing? You were stunned. If you're already stunned, take 2 damage. Take 2 damage.
Okay.
I mean, that's not the worst thing ever, actually. All right. So then which one are you going to move it to? Take 2 damage or add a threat to all of them?
Add a threat on all of them.
Well, you're like, now that I'm removing 15 threat. Yes, please. All right. So he is going to scheme on this one. That's the only negative. So it's 2 plus 3, but we get rid of that garbage card, so that doesn't make me sad. And then I have to go here, so I have to take 2 damage. Oh no. Oh's nose. Alright, draw a card.
All right.
Now, we get 3 cards when we kill him, don't we?
Yep.
That seems real bad.
So put 3 more.
And then he activated, so we got to go here. You have to discard a card.
Point healing, that's for sure.
4 threat or place a side scheme out.
Did you want a side scheme? Because I think that's about to happen.
Oh, I thought you were asking. Hey, at least it was the top card. Can't complain about that. Move the glider token to the main scheme with the most threat and resolve it. So we're adding 1 to everything again, including the side scheme. Hey, you removed 20 threat. Good news, Terence.
Some threat on the board, that's for sure.
I assume I heal, right? That's like the smart move here.
Sure. Seems like a smart move.
All right. And then I use my cabin to put in... What's the other one? The one that does 1,000,000? Lunging strike or something? Or do I put in Jubilee? I don't have... So I could do Slice and Dice or Jubilee.
Either of those seem good.
Or Regenerative Healing, I guess, theoretically, if I want to stay up for a longer time. Sure, Regenerative Healing.
Like those HPs?
Well, because I'm about to lose some, right? When I Fusillade, potentially. Or Uppercut.
Well, Fusillade you can't do with claws.
No, but I do Hand Cannon. And then I'm...
I guess you could do the 2.
Yeah, we'll see. Alright. So I'm going to flip up for now. I mean, I need to do it to hit him. Honestly, those 2 hit points now make me sad that I didn't think about the fact that I had 2 cards that did 5 damage. It's fine. Everything's fine. So Hulk has more life, so clearly Hulk would be a better call. I mean, do I track by scent?
Do you have 2 cards you can throw my way for problem solvers?
theoretically, one, two. All right. So I'm gonna put out. I mean, then you would have a chumper for me in the near future.
I will have 3 allies out this turn.
All right. So 1, 2 lets me put out hand cannon. With 3 chargers. Oh, how am I going to get rid of this jobber? I guess I'm just getting hit in the face. Oh, no, I'm fusillading. That's right.
Yeah, you fusillade, don't you?
Well, that's the point.
Wasn't
okay.
that the...
Yes. So 2. Although I'm taking 2 damage to prevent 3. I don't know. That's
still off the board, right?
Well, yes. Sorry about that 2 damage. I was wrong about that. It's fine. And then these 2 are yours. Oh, I have extra.
If you want to hold one, you have X-Jet as well. I don't know if that changes your calculus on stuff, but...
Well, I'll put Angel back in my hand, and then, yes, I will determine which 2 I'm going to give you. I think I keep Hulk with these 3, right? Or track by scent.
So I'm going to put Angel in, and then 1... Actually, making entrance. 1, 2, and then you're dumping 2 as well.
Yep.
Is that true? For problem solver, so let's remove 5 off of every scheme.
Seems good.
Actually, before that, I will thwart 2 with Agent Carter on the side scheme, so I can draw a card.
Why does it have to be before? Does it matter?
Because, oh no, it doesn't.
Oh, you drew Mansion?
Yeah, but I think I'm just gonna hold these because Ironheart's really good.
Yes.
For chump, right?
And drawing a card. I mean, it's a 1-cost. Ally,
yeah, but
basically.
But I probably do it for the. You do it for the ready though.
What do you mean?
I can discard a ready to then thwart another 3 somewhere else.
That's true.
You think that's worth the chump?
Yeah.
Probably is, right? And you hold Mansion to finally get that out. So let's
Yes.
do 3 off of the scheme 1, Lower Manhattan.
Now that means we're gonna both discard cards, which is fine. Just
do you want the indirect damage instead?
Need to know. No, I don't think so. I think that's fine. Oh, you still have an ally. Oh, yeah. He's got a punch in him.
So I could actually thwart this down, then we could pick the side scheme, the scheme 1.
That doesn't matter to me. That's your choice. But don't forget to take consequential here.
He doesn't, because I did problem solvers.
You are correct. So what is Guzar going to do? Punch for 2? Or... By the way, have you defended at all? Because I have not been putting Retaliate on.
I don't know if I have.
Yeah. No, I think we've been chumping most of the turns.
Do you want me to punch for 2?
It's your call, man.
Let's just thwart Midtown Manhattan.
Midtown. Okay. Because then they're literally even.
Well, yeah, then they're all even, so then we can pick.
Yep.
Was kind of my thought.
All right, you good?
Yep.
All right, ready up, draw up. Hey, 2 lunging strikes. And Berserker Frenzy. Dang it. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Then I get attacked. Are you jumping or am I taking it?
I can jump.
All right. So you're chumping one of them for 3, 4, 5. Seems like a worthwhile chump. Then we move this to... Let me calculate this. So if I play Berserker Frenzy... So unless Glider comes out, I don't need the extra card. But how sad would it be if I
You have extra as well, so whatever that in calculus.
Oh, you are correct. Yeah, so I can discard a card. I'm going to do that. By track by scent. It's not my job. That's Terrence's job. All right, Terrence. You're getting attacked.
All right. Yep. Chump.
Move the glider counter to the main scheme with the most threat. Place a threat on that scheme. Well, you get to choose. The indirect damage can take the most, and I don't think any of us are keen to take damage right now. So I think that's probably the right call.
Okay.
And then you get to pick which one you want to activate.
Do I discard a card? I guess I do. Should not be greedy.
All right. One encounter card.
Can you believe it?
No. Discard an upgrade or support you control. Hey, remember how I had a cabin?
Yeah, I do.
I don't. Now, you didn't punch anything, right? Because you've been stunned for a little bit.
No.
Oh, no. Well, aren't we glad that I didn't discard a card, even though I did? So we search for the advanced glider?
Yep. That we do.
I mean, good news. They're done. He's done his activation.
Yep.
Hold on. Let me take care of this real quick. Bye, glider. That's my hero action.
Nice. I'm gonna one way actually.
Draw 3.
Do you want limitless supply? I hate this card.
I mean, if you're getting rid of
I had
it,
bad
I don't
memory.
care.
I had bad memories of this card from last time we played.
Yeah, I mean, having it in the deck sucks. Can you get rid of it? I assume you can.
Well, I got a ready.
I mean, worst case scenario, I can help you get rid of it. I can get rid of 2. I mean, I'm not that much help, but I'm not 0 help.
All right, so Arrows with Thwart for 2.
On that side?
Yep. Actually, I'll port for 3.
Draw a card.
Draw a card.
Seems good.
Mansion. How much does Mansion help you?
Right now, I have exactly what I need to pay for the stuff I have.
So not at all. Well, that was 1 card short of where I wanted it.
Yeah.
I probably should have done it. Can I retcon and turn the tide to get rid of my stun?
Yes, of course. Yeah. So it's just a 0.
Or if it doesn't matter, I can shield attack it and then pay for my shield.
It's fine.
Back in. Doesn't matter. I kind of think I dump everything except chance encounter one way or another for my hand.
Well, I mean, you may as well heroic strike, right?
Well, I want these 2 cards. So maybe I just shield toss for 4. And then pay to put
you're
my
gonna
shield
do something. Yeah, you're gonna do something. You're not gonna do 0. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because I think getting a side scheme, being able to pull out an ally for it, drawing 3 cards seems real good, right?
All right, so I'm gonna Berserker Frenzy. So after Wolverine takes any amount of damage from an enemy attack, draw a card. Oh, I heal 2, by the way. And then
imagine how broken it'd be if you draw cards from like
lunging strike here, which is what I'm about to do. So it's 8
Wouldn't that be
damage.
crazy if that drew your cards?
I mean, I think I'm gonna hand cannon punch him in the face for 6, also, right? Because I get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I could get him down to 1. Do we want to do that? Your retaliate would flip him.
Do you want to do that?
I mean, that's what I'm asking you.
Uh,
I mean,
I don't know if that's true.
what are,
Maybe next turn.
what are we waiting for? Oh, you're first player.
But,
I don't love that. Oh, and we draw all the cards right now.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think I'd want to like at least get another jump or something out on the board.
All right, so I do 6 damage. I'm not going to hand cannon, which is fine. That's why I have the hand cannon. Like, I don't have to use it. By the way, I don't even think I've seen Yarnbjorn. Is it even in my deck? Either game, I don't feel like I've seen.
Didn't you literally pull it out and say it was in your deck? Like when we did the.
I did. That's why I was wondering what was going on. Why I haven't seen it in any game.
Have you decked?
I'm about to deck right here. So yeah, killing him.
First time?
Yes.
Oh.
Have you already decked once?
My second time decking.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you keep flipping. Don't forget.
I've only flipped twice. Once from the obligation. Or was that last game?
Who knows anymore?
Can't even remember.
All right.
All right. So everything goes up by 2. Except the first one goes up by 3.
Oh, by the way, did we want extra threat? Because that's about to happen. All right. So, and I get an extra encounter card.
For what?
All right.
Decking? Oh, you
decking.
deck.
I did finally deck. All right. So you get attacked.
Do I defend this?
I mean, I have healing. So I'm not going to defend because I punch hard. I punch harder than my healing.
Do I just jump with arrows?
That's your call.
I think I'll defend here.
All right. So you're attacking for 3, you're defending for 3, and +1. So take 1.
Takes
and
1.
He takes 1. Okay. So then this moves to add a threat to everything. Hey, you like threat? We got threat. Okay. So now he attacks me. I am just going to take it to my face. 3 + 2 is 5. And then because I took damage, I get to draw a card. Which lets me take more damage. By the way, threat. Alright, these are starting to become an issue. Alright, take your 1 card. Which one's that one? The one that exhausts your stuff?
Yep.
Surge. Give him a boost card.
Cool.
Oh, is this me?
Yeah. You do lose Berserker Frenzy if you choose to do that.
I mean, I'm not going to get stunned and confused, right?
I mean, you have Regenerative Healing. So you would only heal for 2, I guess, instead of you only heal for 6.
Well, I do heal for 6. Because don't forget, I heal for 2 at the beginning of my turn.
Well, I just mean, yeah, 2 and 4 is 6 versus 2. Yeah.
Alright, so this gets discarded.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't have anything that helps me down. Oh, I do need to get stunned and confused, though, which is a thing. Oh, regenerative healing. I see what you're saying. Discard both of them. Oh, yeah. Of all the stuff that I don't care about, symbiote in front of me is one of them. I mean, I could slice and dice to finish the enemy here. So I'm first player, right?
Yep. Well, you do regenerative healing, right?
I feel like, yeah, you have to regenerative healing.
Well, you have X-Jet, just FYI.
Yeah, but I don't have a holster. So it doesn't matter. Like, these weapons mean
I
nothing
see.
to me right now. So I could slice and dice, or I could just attack with overkill with a hand cannon. I'm gonna uppercut and slice and dice this turn, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, slice and dice it is.
Let's see. Hold on. Can I? There's still one side scheme left, right?
So 1, 2, 3. I pay for slice and dice. So this one's dead, and then we're killing them.
Before you do that, can I one way?
Yeah, of course.
Just because it might be in these next 6 cards. Wait, it is in here, right? Is it not? Is it in the discard pile? Wait, hold
Well,
on.
you can always look through the discard pile before you decide.
I guess I just burned a card, man.
No. You can look through the discard pile. There are 3
I
side
mean,
schemes in here?
I'm pretty sure it's this card right here.
Oh. That's a shame. Oh, I could have held on to something. Hold on, because I have X-Jet.
Well, that sucks.
Sorry, dude. Wait, how did I pay for
Cool.
regenerative healing? I must have used X-Jet for that.
Pay Yarnborn.
Oh, I drew an extra card. That's what it was. So, actually, let me hold Yarnbjorn, then. And I would have used X-Jet.
Alright.
In hopes to get a holster here soon. Where is Yarnbjorn? Why are these 2 cards, like, attached to each other? They're not. Seriously, what happened to Yarnbjorn? Where? Oh, for no reason. Alright, so I'm holding Yarnbjorn. Okay, and then I'm taking 3 damage to uppercut. This seems like not the best idea. Oh, well, hold on. First we had to advance them.
3 cards.
Tough, stalwart, retaliate. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you have a blocker for me?
I have arrows.
Okay. I'm doing it.
You're doing what?
I'm doing it.
Are you flipping down?
No, I'm just punching them like crazy. Maybe I should flip down also. Alright. So I do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, I did 11 damage to this side this turn. But I'm down to 4 health. So do you think I should flip down? I mean, I have to, I guess, right? Are we going to lose? How much threat are you removing?
I mean, if it's here, I was just going to remove 3, so I should probably do it on the one that he's scheming on.
Oh, 3 total? That's all you're removing?
I mean, I was exhausted.
Alright, so hold on. Maybe I don't do any of what I just did then. So he's tough, and he's back up to 42. So I don't do that 11 damage. I don't do this, so I get my 2 retaliates back against me, and the 3 I spent on uppercut. And maybe I just thwart something instead. Do you like that better, Terence?
Sure.
What would you like me to thwart? I mean, this top one's got to be thwarted. That one's going to freaking pop. So I thwart for 2, and then I'm just going to discard uppercut.
You're not going down?
I mean, now I have 9 hit points, right?
Yeah, okay.
Oh. Wait. Why do I have the first player jobber and you're out of cards? Was everything an off? I'm kidding.
Well, you were done. You said you're done, and you're talking about going down. And I basically all I did on my turn was thwart one time
Oh,
because I
what did
had
you
to
thwart?
spend one to get ready. I thwarted the one the glider's on because I thought you were going down.
I mean, we don't want to add threat to all of them right now, do we? This top one's gonna pop, dude. Literally, without doing anything, this top one pops.
I thwarted the bottom one because you said you were going down.
I'm not going down, though. So your turn's after mine.
I mean, I can remove it from the top, or I can do the middle one. We probably don't want damage, though.
I mean, we have to do the top. Like, we're gonna have to discard a card. It's just gonna be. I discarded my whole hand, actually. So, I did not keep Yarn Bjorn. I mean, we have to survive this turn. Right? Like, this is the turn. After this, like, I mean, this threat is an issue. Do you only have one of those cards that thwarts every scheme?
Yep.
That seems
But
like
I'm about to get.
that seems like it should
I'm
have been
about
a
to
3
deck.
of, right? If that's, yeah. All right, so we're adding 3, 2, and 2.
Yep.
All right. You're just gonna plink off tough, unfortunately, with your retaliate, but it is what it is. Like, there wasn't much choice here. Oh, and we're gonna have to deal with this crap.
All right.
So I get attacked first. What to do?
Do you need me to chump that?
I don't need you to chump it. The question is, should we? I mean, he only attacks for 3 still, right? Well, 4.
4.
I can't die here. So let's save that chump for... because we might need it, you know? So, I take 5. I draw a card. I mean, Weapon
Right.
X gotta go. Well,
So
I'm
you're
flipping down,
discarding a
though.
card. Discard a card.
I think Fuselade's the one that's gotta go. Okay.
And then you have to exhaust and upgrade it in support. So X-Jet, obviously, because that's your only one. And then...
Is this my only support?
Yep.
Well, that's a shame.
Okay.
Wait, and I have to discard a card, which I did with Fuselade. Okay.
We also have to reveal this.
What was that?
Wasn't this the boost? So you have to also discard the top 4 cards of your deck.
Well, Terence, that's a shame. The healing one would have been nice. That's the only one I'm sad about.
Alright, so shield block. Discard a card.
He loses tough. We did reveal his boost, right? Oh, you take another one? Oh my god. Terrence, this is terrible. What is happening? Alright, I'm first.
You are.
Oh, hold on,
This
we
is
gotta
gone.
take another one, by the way, as well. Alright. Welcome to 9 cards. Surge, reveal the top card of the encounter deck. Well,
11 cards.
Well, I mean, that's... Yes. Alright. Of course. I mean, everybody drink. Oh my gosh. Alright. Only have 50 more to go. Surge, reveal the resolve special ability of the scheme with the glider counter.
Discard a card.
And lose 4. Alright, goodbye, Weapon X.
12 cards.
Villain schemes. Well, we're about to lose 1 anyway. Oh, we're not. So wait, what just
3.
happened?
18.
So he schemes for 3. And
Goes
then
up to
one more
18.
because of this card. Place a threat on the main scheme.
No, without.
Oh, without it.
I already did it.
Oh my god. Wait, how did you use one of yours already? Oh, you're just going through yours?
No, I haven't gone through mine.
Oh, why? How did this get here? And why do you have
That's
one
your
less?
that's your thing.
Oh. Oh yeah.
I don't have one less. I have 4, and I have
Surge, resolve the special ability of the scheme with the glider counter. So I get a surge again, by the way.
So yeah, discard a card.
And discard the top 4 from my deck.
You can draw a card because you decked.
Wait, what?
At what point do you
Attach your
run a card?
identity after your turn ends, take a damage. Alter ego, when you make a basic recovery. Well, that seems likely. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Sure. Oh, well, I mean, of all the terrible things. Oh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yep. Wait, what is that? Oh. Top one's up to 2 acceleration.
Okay. Discard a card.
All right. It's a symbiotic thrall. I could see it from the back. That was weird. When revealed, you're stunned. Take 1 damage. 4 damage instead if you are already stunned. Did you take your damage?
Cool.
Alright. I mean, is there any way out of this? I can get rid of this boost thing.
Or do you kill your thrall?
Well, I feel like I
Or
get
not
to heal.
thrall, the
Well, hold on. I'm first. Oh, you're first player. So I don't even get to heal yet.
well,
That's...
probably keeping that
Oh, but you don't have your guardian. Oh.
because I
Oh.
chumped it.
And you can't afford Fury? Oh, you
I
can.
mean, I can't afford.
Yeah, I mean, let's Fury and see what happens. I mean, Ironheart, right? Or one way or another? Like...
No, we can't afford more side
I mean,
schemes,
if you
right?
get a guardian, we can. No, just get rid of all of them.
Do you want me
I
to
don't
do
know.
it?
Yeah, before you play Ironheart, you should... If you're gonna do it first, right? Well, no, because there's
Do
no
you
way
want me
you
to do it?
can pay for problem solvers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I didn't jump with Eros, I could. I was debating on not jumping with Eros actually, but I just felt like my hand was so small at that point.
I mean, you might have died anyway. I mean, you only
No, I
have...
could have defended, right?
Well, sure. This is looking less and less likely to happen here. You thwart for 5?
Do I clear this and then thwart one more time for another 3?
I mean, you definitely clear something.
It's clear side scheme, for sure.
That's a symbiote one, right?
Yeah. Ready? Huh. There's no symbiote environment now.
Correct.
Well, that's good. What should I
You're
thwart for
stunned, by
3?
the way.
Yeah, I don't care.
Well, yes. I don't know, man. Like, one of these two is about to pop. This one's about to pop. Actually, this one's definitely going right now. I don't even know if you thwart for 3 if that helps.
Because it goes up by 4?
Goes up by 4 minimum. And I probably have to go down, but that's... It goes up by 5, by the way.
Yeah.
And 5 pops it.
Probably was... Eos was probably like the thing that was the wrong move. Probably should have just defended.
Well, I mean, you didn't know, right? Like, that's a real hard call at the time. I mean, looking back, yes. If you could have thwarted every scheme and side scheme for 3 or for 5, that seems good right now. Your
Let's
call,
see.
man.
So I'm thwarting for 3 somewhere.
Well, you thwart for 5, right? With Fury, at least. Probably 6
And
total.
and Ironheart. Yeah, so I can do 6. So you want me to just do that one? 6 would get it down to 12.
And then we just... Yeah.
Well, you have Into the Fray, right?
Yes.
So like you can also remove if you kill your symbiotic.
4.
Yeah, you can remove 4 off.
But if
of
I
something
flip
else.
down, then all these dudes are scheming right now. Where did I use my X-Jet?
It got exhausted from the.
Oh, right.
Attachment.
I mean, I also feel like I kind of have to just get rid of this too, right? I guess I have another turn, and I can heal next turn, and I just lose 1 extra life. Because if I ended the fray, I gotta pay for it with life. Which I think is the right call, by the way.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's basically 5 threat off the board, right? If you're
it's
flipping
4.
down. Well, and he doesn't thwart. First game.
Yes. So the question is then, did you want to do all of it to here?
You can. So you have to do main scheme.
No, you. Would you have wanted to do that?
I can if you want.
Because theoretically, it's still your turn. Because I've done
Do you want me
nothing
to do
but
that?
inaction right now.
Do you want me to do that? I can. It would be 5. I can still remove 1 off of something.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Then you take 1 off of this. And then I take the 5 off of this. Or 4. I take 4. So this would be 1 higher, but this would be gone.
I don't know if I care that much.
About this? About this?
Yeah, right now. It's only 1 more threat, right? And it feels like the
Touche.
main teams are
So what do you want me to take 4 off then? This one or this one?
So this one, they each go up by 2. Is
Yes.
that correct? So this would be 21. That's 1 away. And this would be 22. 2 away.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it makes a difference.
Okay. Well, that one would have been 1 away. So, because it.
Um.
Now, did you want to split your 6 up differently, or are you still good with what you did?
I think I'm still good with that.
Well, am I flipping down? Is the question.
You have to.
Well, then why don't I? Right.
Okay.
If I'm flipping
Sure.
down.
Yep.
Do you want me to punch him to get rid of this nugget? Or I could punch him. Or I could heal for 6 and get rid of this thing.
Yeah, I guess the only.
I
No,
could kill this
I will.
dude,
I will.
actually. You want me to kill this too schemy dude?
How do you kill him?
With hand cannon.
Oh yeah, sure.
That's 6, right? Should I do that?
Well, no, because you need to heal, right?
Well,
You
only
need
to
to
get
heal
rid of
and get
this.
rid.
I will take the
You
one
need,
I can heal next turn.
but don't you have to? Oh no, when you make a basic recovery. I see. I see.
Yeah, so next turn I can heal it. I take
Sure.
1 additional damage, but we keep 2 threat off the board.
Yeah, that seems fine.
And he doesn't get his retaliate.
Yeah, my plan is hopefully to get problem solvers.
My plan is to get problem solvers. Yeah, I mean, I have to flip down. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
The question is, no, there's no question. I discard these 2 garbage cards, right? Well, no, I think I keep Lunging Strike in case the Jobber comes out and to kill Omega Red. There's 2 reasons to keep Lunging Strike right now. So, all right. So after your turn, take a damage. All right, I got some stuff, Terence. If I survive this,
I don't have stuff, but that's okay.
you have no Thwarty Thwarts.
No, I didn't draw my champion.
If I survive
Or not.
this,
Or my guardian.
if I survive this, this could be a very good turn.
You're gonna kill him? Nice. Nice.
No. Well, here's my major problem, actually. I was super excited about Jubilee, but I think I have to hold her. Because I will not be ready. So, all right. So, let's add threat. This one gets 5. This one gets 2. This one gets 2. All right. So, you get attacked.
Nick Fury. Let's go.
Let's go. 1 to the boost.
Love to see it go.
Yep. You retaliate. Oh, this is bad. This is bad.
No, I don't. Nick Fury defended it. Come on.
Oh,
Come on.
Wait, is he tough? Or did you retaliate at some point or something?
He's not tough.
What? He starts tough. Remember I did all that attacky stuff and I took it all back?
Whatever. I don't think it matters if he's tough or not.
Well, it does matter because if you don't do damage, then you don't. At some point.
I thought I planked the tough off the first pass around.
All right,
but,
maybe. All right, fine.
Because I thought I used shield block.
Oh, you think you did. I think you're right. So he schemes for 3, plus this is 4. Okay.
Just discard a card.
What is this?
What?
Special. Oh, did you discard a card, by the way?
I did.
So I got to discard 2 cards, right? Okay. I mean, it's got to be Angel and Spider-Girl. Maybe not Spider-Girl. Maybe Jubilee. I hold Spider-Girl. Just to stun and confuse if I need to.
Sure.
Well, he's steady, so it doesn't matter. All right. Did I add? I did add the extra one. All right. So just 1 encounter card each?
Just 1.
Just the 1. Nope.
JK, just 3.
Well, it's really just 2 and not 3. So he's attacking you. What are you doing?
I mean, you chomp, right?
Okay.
Okay. All right, I forgot.
Now it's gang up. Does he still attack?
Yep.
So you take 2?
Yeah.
Or do you not because you exhausted?
No, I mean, he attacked me the first time around, so it's down to 3, and gang up means they all attack.
Ah.
right?
So, well, hold on. If he attacked you the first time, he should have 2 damage.
Yep.
And he has 1.
He has 1 damage. Well, at least that came out after.
Oh, you're a man at a time, Terence. You're a man at a time.
Lose half my cards hands face down.
Does that make you feel good? I mean, this is... I mean, Problem Solver is a great card, but I don't know. It's a lot to hold. You're only drawing 3 cards a turn then, right? That's the problem. Well, if we get rid of the side scheme, you would draw a card also.
Yeah. I probably... Yeah, but I just feel like we have to do the main scheme, don't we?
I mean, why? Just because we're going to lose if either of these pops?
Yep.
And I have 0 help for you on
Yep.
thwarting? And you're exhausted? Yeah, I think we lose right here, right? Like, Problem Solver does not help us. Like, we have to thwart this turn. Right? Do we just lose?
Yep.
I mean, I can thwart. Oh, no. But if I thwart, I don't heal.
Yeah, no, you have to heal.
I mean, I don't have to if it's a matter of life or death, which it seems to be at this point. I mean, we're going to lose the top one also. Top one gets 4. This one gets 2. This one gets 2. This is 2 away. This is 1 away. I mean, there's nothing we can do. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I kind of feel like if you're going Problem Solver Alliance, you kind of have to go all in on it. Like, get 3 of them. So that way you can do it every turn.
I feel like you can't run 3. They're just so expensive in the early game.
And you have to
I think in 2-player you probably want more than 1. I think if we run this back, I will trade all my Turn the Tides probably for Overwatch.
Is that the one you remove from one and then you remove from a different one
Yep.
as well? Yeah, I was wondering why those weren't in. That's one of my favorite New Justice cards. All right, well, we'll talk about it in our post-stream discussion, which is about... All right, well, hold on. Let's transition first. Do-do-do-do-do. Terence, the people got their money today. If they came here to see 3 games of Marvel Champions, they got to see 3 games of Marvel Champions.
Yep. How do you feel about that?
Your head's down. Are you sad?
No, I mean,
we just got Venom Goblin.
yeah, I mean that's what you expect. I think he's actually significantly harder in 2. Is how I feel about it.
Then solo.
Yeah, I've won against him solo. You know, I have a less than 50% win rate, but I have a more than 0% win rate.
Well, to be fair, the first 2 games weren't even games. Like, we got killed.
Well, just collectively over how many times we played it on stream, I think it's been 5 now in total. So it's like 0%.
Yeah.
0-5.
He's such a weird villain because you have to thwart a lot, yes, but you also have to figure out how to do damage when he's got retaliate on the other side and he hits like a truck too. Like, it's a weird, like, you need protection, you need justice, and you need aggression. Because when you hit him, you got to make it count. Unless you have overkill stuff, which is part of what I do have in my deck. I don't know.
Yeah, I think in the deck list I share, I talk about also what makes him hard. The threat, I think the status effects. He is steady on stage 2 and stalwart on stage 3.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, not being
And
able
so,
to
like,
stun or confuse.
So like even like your kind of go-to, I even say like why pick Cap, like the go-to like kind of A tier heroes, like even like Doctor Strange, I feel like removing status effects off of Strange doesn't make him a bad hero by any means, but definitely like decreases his power curve.
Yes.
I mean, his spells are still good. Like 2 costs to do 7 damage, still a really good card, you know.
So,
Uh,
could we have built up more before we flipped him? Was it my fault for doing almost too much damage too quickly?
I mean, what is your deck build up? I feel like there isn't a lot of build up for your deck,
Well,
right?
that's why I'm asking. Like, should I have? Well, I could have put more allies out. In I ended up taking damage to do damage quite a bit during this game.
I basically got screwed twice in a row, on 2 turns, around that point. Uh, like that festering being there really screwed me, because I had going into that turn, I had a one way or another in my hand and a chance encounter, and that would have allowed me to basically draw into another ally that turn and play it. I mean, I
Gotcha.
have the resources. Like I have 3 resources on the board that I can use to pay for stuff, right? Quinn Carrier, and then 2 super soldier serums.
Yep.
So like whatever ally you draw, like it could even be like Agent 13, right? Remove 2 threat off a board, port for 2 more. You could get Nick Fury, draw 3 more cards. Uh, like it just had a lot of options on the table, and I think not being able to do that hurt. And I think probably sacking in my solo game, I never chunked with Eros. Actually, I always kept him around because he's the only 2 thwart guardian that's not Star Lord that you have access to in Justice
Okay.
in Basic.
What? You don't want to
Um,
take an encounter card to play Star Lord?
no, that sounds terrible. I think like being non-guardian, those are the only 2 thwart guardians you have access to.
Gotcha.
And I think the other aspects aren't any better. uh, and so like in my solo game, I don't have to worry about even like chumping for another player. Like I had plenty of defenses.
With
Not that it was like I was chumping every turn, but like there was like 1 or 2 there. You're like losing allies out, right? You have to deal with like more encounter cards that are attacks, right? Than you do in solo.
yeah,
Um,
for
and
three
so
with 3
go ahead.
schemes out there, I'll be surprised. I'll be honest. I was very surprised you didn't have that 0 cost card. That when you thwart something, it removes from a second scheme as well. Um, that kind of seems like a no-brainer for this scenario. Because even the Guardian one you have, you still have to exhaust 2 characters, and yes, it does a little bit more. Like it might do double or even more if you have a bunch of side schemes. But I feel like you typically don't, like if you could get the 0 cost one off more often, I feel like that's a more valuable thing, if that makes sense. I mean, you could even run that with the thing that thwarts for 6, and now you're taking 12 off of 2 schemes. You know what I mean? The Crisis Averted.
Yep.
Crisis Averted in that 0 cost thing. For 4 cards, you're removing 12. No, it's not the 15 or whatever, but I mean,
I think
basically,
I removed what 20 when I did it the one time. It's like 20
yeah.
off of
I
the
know you
board.
did 20 once, yes, but it's
Um,
hard to get off. I feel like the other thing, you're removing 4 from 2, like every other turn, for like literally a 0 cost card, um, or 5 or whatever. So
you're probably removing 6 or something, or an extra 3 basically.
well, but if you have any card
3,
that
4, or 5.
adds to your thwart, maybe you keep the cards you had now, right? The ones that give
I
you plus
I
2
think the
thwart.
only real change I would make would be to basically remove Turn the Tide and replace them with Overwatch.
Which ones turn the tide?
It's a 0 cost damage card. Um,
Wait, you had a
I
damage
had
card?
a 0 cost damage card.
Yeah. I mean, well,
Uh,
with the deck for solo, that's a really good card to have, right? But for our situation, um,
I think
where I
replacing
was,
those with Overwatch actually probably would be the difference maker. It would like be impactful enough.
And Overwatch is again the one that when you thwarted it.
Yeah,
it's
a zero cost cause, so you're replacing it. You're just like removing, like I don't need that damage. You want thwarting.
Yeah.
And it's basically, like make an entrance, fearless determination, also combo with Overwatch really well. So you don't even need like something like Crisis Averted. He can basic thwart somewhere in the range of like 2 to 5 with just the cards in the kit right now. And so like you can definitely get good efficiency out of that. Like one card to do another basically probably on average like four threat off the table.
All right. Well, let's get to our actual discussion because it's already 1 a.m. So our discussion tonight is on focusing on the scenario when creating your deck. And I think we have to take it a step further, as we saw tonight, because you've had success with that deck, playing against Venom Goblin, but you almost have to synergize with the person you're playing with as well. Because you had those damage cards in there, because in a solo game, you have trouble doing damage by yourself. But because I had all the damage handled, that's why you'd make the change to your deck, right? It's not because the deck was bad. It was because if you are doing the straight up justice roll, then you need more thwarting yourself.
Yeah, I mean, admittedly, you showed me your deck first before I built this deck, and I also went through like this is the 6th deck or something this week that I trialed out. To be fair, I went through a bunch of different decks across I think 4 different heroes. So I think the original plan was like Spider-Man protection. And I was like, he just doesn't thwart enough. Like even in Justice, you probably aren't gonna get it. And it doesn't lean to the Web Warrior stuff, which is what I wanted to do. I looked at like a Spectrum Justice deck. I looked at some other like non-Justice stuff, but then it came down to like you probably have to just be able to have more access to thwarting.
I mean, that's the problem. Venom Goblin's almost better as a 3-player game because you almost need a protection, a justice, and an aggression player. I feel like we're short.
Yeah, I was leaning into. I actually looked at Adam Warlock and Strange as well, and Spider-Man for basically treachery mitigation to some degree. Like being able to shut down some of his big treachery cards is also a pretty big boon for you. And having access and protection to Black Widow was another thing I was looking at. Because how beneficial would it be to be like, oh, that card came out, no, just draw another card, right? Like,
right, yeah.
That can be pretty big swings for you. It's like, oh, Shadow of the Past came out, cool, draw another card. Like,
yeah. I mean, we got Shadows of the Past in 2 of the 3 games we played today.
Yeah.
One of them was turn 1, right? First card flipped. That was the game we lost in turn 1, I think.
Yep. I think we made it to turn 2.
Yeah, I mean, but we were basically done after turn 1.
Yeah. Well, we also got a glider that turn too, so that was fun.
Yes, and he attacked us 4 times, which was interesting.
I think on turn 2, I took 4 attacks to the face.
And with me putting in literally every 3-cost attack card I could find, I still didn't draw one on the turn that he got the glider. And so that glider stuck around for an extra turn, which is an issue. But we're talking a lot about the game. Let's try to stay focused on the topic at hand, which is you built this deck specifically not only for the scenario but the person you're playing with, right? Is that so? It's almost like a Lord of the Rings thing where that was a complaint people had about Lord of the Rings, to be honest, which is you can't beat some scenarios without planning for them. I feel like Venom Goblin and probably Ronin, you need to have that same level of focus where, like, I didn't put in Stunning or Confusing as an example in this deck, because what's the point? They're stalwart and steady, right? So, like, I normally would have for these heavy hitters or things you're trying to stop their activations, you bring in stuns and confuses. But I feel like Venom Goblin, because of the stalwart and steady, I mean, in and of itself is a change you're going to make to your deck to play against this scenario, right?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I looked at Miles briefly, and then I was like, no. When I was considering some of the Wood Warrior stuff, because he does lean into status effects so much.
Yeah. Cinder92 said Miss Marvel Justice with multitasking, shrink, and Overwatch is a great way to control Venom Goblin. Add Ironheart leadership to build up and one-shot him after the flip.
Yeah, the other constraint I guess I had was I was trying to not repeat heroes we've done.
Well, right.
Which Ironheart is one of them.
Ironheart is one that we've already done. Yep. So this year we are trying to, before we repeat any heroes, we're trying to play all of the heroes. So the only ones we've played...
Sans the campaign stuff when new content comes out.
Well,
we're
sure,
gonna play
of course.
Through a campaign and repeat heroes there.
Yep. So we played Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, Ironheart, She-Hulk, and now Captain America and Wolverine. So yeah. Well, Ironheart, I feel like you could probably build up. Now, is that fun for you though? Would you feel satisfied if you just like held them on stage 2 and then took somebody like a War Machine or an Ironheart and just like built up to the point where you can one-shot them? Do you think there's enough challenge there?
I mean, it's not like stage 2 is a walk through the park, man.
Right, but
yeah,
after
I mean,
you get to the point where you're drawing
teething him, right? Because you don't get the 3 cards.
Yeah, after the point you're drawing 1 card a turn, though, I feel like he feels like a lot of other villains at that point, unless you draw something like the Glider or whatever. So we're still staying very specific on this mission because again we haven't beaten it.
I think it's also just concrete, right? Like it's easier to talk about customizing stuff with like without being super generic. I think your combat Lord of the Rings is interesting. I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people say, but some people also do love it. I think Marvel Champions has, besides the end villains, there's also stuff like into the museum, breaking into the museum, the collector one. You know, he's a unique villain that I think if you don't build for it, you'll be in a world of hurt.
I think it's a fun one to build for. So
I mean, a lot of people don't like it though because it breaks the formula.
Sure.
Right, like the standard deck building formula, and I think similar to Lord of the Rings and other stuff, it's just like it depends on as a player how much you like that as a concept.
Well, I also think not every hero can do it. And I mean, we've tried to disprove that, I guess, by putting... I
think every hero can do it, and every hero... But, like, it doesn't mean it plays well for that hero.
Right.
But you could probably pick an aspect, lean more into events and things, and, like, make it happen. Like, you probably could still do Nebula. You just, honestly, are not going to play her techniques, which is just, like, why are you bothering to play Nebula? Besides proving that you can do it, right?
Right. I mean, you're going to have an easier time by playing Miss Marvel, by playing Gamora, by playing anybody who's very... I mean, even Wolverine is not very dependent on anything that isn't an event. So I think event-specific heroes have an easier time with that one. But I mean, we played Black Panther or Black Widow against it and beat it, no problem. Now I forget what you were playing that day. Were you playing Miss Marvel?
I think it was. No, I mean I think it was also someone equally terrible.
Oh, we decided to go double terrible on that one just to see if we could do it.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't really remember. We'd have to look at the YouTube.
Yeah.
Links. But yeah. So I think he's probably another example that isn't at that same. Because I think like a lot of them, it tends to be the really hard villains that you kind of have to deck build against, right?
Well, Ronin
because
too.
The ones that.
Because if you can't thwart for like 50 turn 1, then
Yep.
you're in a world of pain.
Yeah. And I think actually all the LCGs have a little bit of this too. Like each of the kind of cycles have a little bit of flavor to them that like I think Galaxy's Most Wanted was very thwart heavy. Like they dumped a lot of side schemes on you, right?
Remember when we used to think Beat Cop was overpowered?
No,
And
I always thought it was just slow.
well, it's slow, but like it's like oh, it's slow, but you put him out early when you have time, right? Like it's a
Or you're
card,
rich like Black Panther.
but then it's like one a turn forever.
Yep.
You know, like that feels real good. Like you don't ever have to think about it again. You don't have to pay for it every turn. You don't have to do whatever. Literally just every turn remove a threat. You get 2 B cops out, every turn remove 2 threat. So while they are slow, quote unquote, if you get one out turn 1 for 4 of the cards in your starting hand, that seems pretty good. I mean, I'd rather have a mansion, obviously. But like,
I mean, you'd probably rather have almost any of your other signature upgrades or supports or something, right? Though.
maybe, but maybe you don't. And maybe that's a misconception. Because I don't know. By the end of the game, like, that's a lot of threat removal. And it's spot minion removal if you need it too. I'm not saying it's the best card, and I'm not saying, this isn't about that one card, but it's interesting. But like, you could never play it against Ronin. I think once Ronin came out is when we stopped putting that card in decks. And it's funny because it's not like every villain.
I mean, I even think Nebula that was true. I think in Galaxy's Most Wanted, like the villains were just a little faster. They required you out of the gate. Like I think in kind of the core set and the first cycle, with Rise of Red Skull, you got a little bit more time to turtle.
Yeah.
And I don't even think like Galaxy Most Wanted was like, oh, like they've turned the crank on, like it is now a super tempo game. I don't think that's true, but it was definitely a little faster, right? Like there were just a lot more threats that were coming out of the gate, kind of later into that campaign, right? And especially if you played it in campaign, you had those side schemes on expert.
But
like,
I think
on,
it's not necessarily that way now. I don't think every scenario is super fast now. I think
I think that was just a thing where that changed in Galaxy Most Wanted, right?
But it's interesting that we never went back, because I used to play a lot of Beat Cop, but ever since Galaxy's Most Wanted, I kind of took them out of my decks, and it was something you said earlier before we started streaming today. Also, you're like, oh, I feel like I just keep building the same deck. I've
been falling into this combo of like I really like recurring Nick Fury apparently.
Right.
But I do think each of the Justice decks I've built are not what you were saying like back in the day of like I can literally slot the same 25 cards in another deck. I definitely don't think I can.
I mean,
do that.
leadership. I used to do that all the time. Like I'd have a leadership pool of 25 that I would literally stick on any hero. But again, it was for solo, and it was when the card pool was way lower than it is now. I still think you can do it, but getting back to this topic today, like some to a lot of villains require you to specifically build for them now. So I think even if you do build a set of 25, I wonder if you could build a set of 25 specific for that villain and then swap different heroes. Not every hero, of course. Like, Wolverine's not going to play the same as Captain America when it comes to justice. So, you're just giving up way too many of the special abilities that he has. Although, who knows? I mean, I was low on health here a lot today. If I never use my ability to do extra damage, I would have had extra health too. So, I don't know.
But there'll all be more things on the board.
Well, right, but you'd at least get more. You get more chances to block. You'd still get that regeneration every turn, so you could take more damage. So I don't know. It's interesting. But do you typically design for the scenario we're playing every week? How about that?
I definitely take it into account. I mean, it's imperfect, right? Like I don't actually two-hand that much, but I try to theory it, which doesn't always work in practice.
Right.
But I like if you share your deck beforehand, I think I optimize at least for your deck to some degree.
Sure.
Like if you're bringing a thing, I will not bring the same thing. Like that
Well,
is
right.
trying to do the same thing. At least we do that, right?
Yeah.
And then I probably will look and analyze and see where the gaps in your deck are.
Sure. Which are usually
And then
many.
yeah, I felt that way a little bit when you brought your Wolverine aggression deck. I was like, man, like there's actually a lot of things to cover. I was just like, you have to tackle survivability, you have to tackle threat, and we're just gonna eat the treacheries, right?
Well, and
Like
to be
that's
fair,
like you just can't cover all the bases, right?
that's why I brought a lot of 2-cost allies. But to also be fair, I was not playing them as much as I should have. I feel like that is where I fell down on playing today. I needed to prioritize, as you said, my deck doesn't need to build up. I needed to prioritize getting allies out to help us survive. And to help us thwart, and to help us whatever, right? Like, that's the benefit of allies. They can do multiple things. Every ally in my deck was a 2-cost ally. And I barely ever played one. I'd have hands with 3 allies in them, and I'd play none of them, or one of them.
Yep.
And so that's a problem, because that helps protect, because they don't have any overkill. They have indirect damage, but not that much. It'd be like take 2 indirect damage or whatever. It wasn't like, do a 6 indirect damage attack, like those stupid sharks or whatever.
There is the one. I think there's only one boost that made it indirect, right? The enraged symbiotic monstrosity or whatever.
Oh, is that the one that also had 3?
Yeah, it has three
three
boost
boosts.
icons, and the star effect is like treat this as indirect. So that was
Yeah, that's
fun.
pretty awful. That's pretty bad.
Yeah. So I think it probably depends on the difficulty of the villain. I do think Marvel Champions has the benefit that a lot of the kind of medium difficulty villains don't require you like to deck build, but I think stuff on the higher tier does, and that's probably generally true outside of Marvel Champions, right? Like the more difficult content probably requires you to have to focus and kind of puzzle solve a bit. I
Is
think
that
that's just
true
naturally.
for every cooperative game? I guess it kind of is.
Yeah,
Like, the
it
harder
definitely.
it is, the more you have to focus on, okay, what is this villain's weaknesses? What are their strengths? Is that a pro or a con to you? Like, do you
I
like...
think that's a. I think it's a pro to me because it flexes the game, right?
Sure.
I think like one of the problems to some degree, if like we've talked about Street Masters before. Like I know Steve really loves it, but in my experience, like parts of the reason, like it's fun to play and go through the motions, but like part of the thing, even though it's modular for me, like my experiences with playing with Yon has been the strategy's the same every time, right? Like sure the tactics of actually playing the hero out are a little different, but it's like I drop my 3 tactics, I and it probably sounds similar to Champions, right? Like I build up my stuff, and then eventually I get in this flow of like I can convert these defense tokens to power up my hero, and it doesn't matter how much the villain has built up, like I'm just gonna beat him down, right? And it kind of feels very samey after an hour of playing. And
Okay.
it just feels like the strategy for me, no matter what you slot in, is exactly the same, right? And I think the benefit of having to customize in deck building is like you have to for this higher difficulty things like you have to take into account these different variables, and there's that puzzle to solve. And what's fun over time with I think LCGs is like you get more tools to solve that puzzle over time too, right? Like
Right.
Overwatch, for instance, was I don't think a tool we had, even though I didn't bring it
Right.
for this scenario. Or
Yeah,
maybe like
and
it
it's a
maybe it did
great
come
tool
out
for
later
this
in this cycle,
specific
right?
scenario. Yeah.
I think it came out later in the cycle and it wasn't in that deluxe box, right?
Right.
When it first came out, right? And so like I think that's part of the fun is like when things are challenging, when you get tools to do it, like it changes the game up, right? And I think that's part of why I enjoy it. Um, yeah, I
Champions
mean,
in general.
yeah, champions and LCGs, I think as a whole, like when your tool is like having a thing out of the game to like kind of potentially like use cards that maybe are niche that I think are fun in this scenario. I think is
Sure.
stuff that I also really enjoy. It's like, oh, this thing actually kind of like you would never auto include in a deck, but like in this one scenario, it's like really good,
It's
right?
really
And
good.
I was
And that,
trying to
yeah,
I
that's
was trying
cool.
to do that with problem solvers, right? Like I think part of it's just like you would never include it probably in most decks because Overwatch is just better value. Like, how often are you
Yes.
having so many schemes where you're playing that card, you're actually getting the value of like exhausting a hero, an ally, and then paying for
I
it,
mean,
right?
Red Skull would be another one to potentially include it in.
I still think it's not as good as Venom, right? Like
Oh, of course.
you want to manage those side schemes, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you
Um,
almost have to with Red Skull. You'd be better off getting something that just
um,
managed them every turn. But
but to Brent's point too, like in a four-player, like in Con of Heroes who played a four-player game, problem solvers is probably a much better card because like if you go around the table and you ask like are all of you willing to chip one card in for me to remove 20 threat off the board, like or even
well,
it's like 15, right, like or
and if you
something,
have
right, like
a dedicated guardian player, also would have made a difference.
yeah. And so at that point you're probably like yes, right, like the cost per player becomes significantly less,
Yep.
and you probably have more side schemes because you're drawing more cards,
Well, there's just
uh
more threat on schemes in general, right? Because
yeah.
all the side schemes get more and more threat on them the more players there are, too. So, while it's cheaper, to some degree, it has a little bit less of an impact.
Yeah, but you might have more quantity, so potentially you get more value that way.
Sure, yeah, yeah. I mean, if there's a dedicated justice player or leadership, even where you get the boosty leadership ones, where they buff their stats and or buff their ally stats, there could certainly be a lot more you could do with it rather than just having a hey, I got one ally that can thwart for two. Um,
But yeah, I guess like I think one of the things that's interesting is just like the values of cards change depending on the villain, which I think is fun for me.
yeah,
To kind of answer that question you're asking. I think that's one of the things I do enjoy about some of that. But kind of going back to the original topic, I do think of a lot of the like I go through a lot of the scenarios and I don't necessarily deck build my first time through, right? It's
right.
usually when I hit a wall, right? Even if I bring a hero that maybe is not optimal for it, or a composition that with that hero that's not optimal, like uh, I think some of the fun for me is like you do lose that first time and then you have an epiphany, right? And you kind of solve it. But like I think Howard's brought this up, like a lot of that epiphany and stuff happens like while you're playing, but like the decisions you make strategically for that happens a lot outside the game, right? Like
Sure.
me not packing Overwatch in this particular example is not a thing I can change. Like you can't, you for sure could sequence and play your cards differently. In your case, you're saying like you would play more of the allies that you already had in.
Yeah.
Like those are decisions you get to make. But I can't like, I probably could not have increased my thwart output, right? Um,
Well,
like I
that's an interesting part of the discussion as well, because not only is it the deck building that changes based on the villain, but the way you play your deck. Like, I could take this exact same deck against a different villain, and I would have to play it completely different. So that's one of the cool parts. So I guess typically for me, that's the way I think about it, right? It's like, how do you play against the villain? That's the cool part. But I guess deck building is part of that. The more and more I'm like breaking it down in my own mind, it's kind of neat that not only do you have to deck build a little bit, and you don't have to be the best deck builder in the world. Again, you're talking about 3 or 4 cards here difference, right? Like you switch those 3 cards out, your deck's going to play completely different in this scenario. But it's also the strategy that you use with that deck. My deck was heavy cheap allies. Sometimes I don't have to do that. Sometimes I can just play other stuff and not have to worry about my allies. So yeah, no, this is why I love having these discussions, is because it opens your mind to making you a better player too, I think. Because a lot of times I don't think about this stuff when I'm building a deck or whatever else. I certainly, again, as small as it is, like I didn't bring Stunned and Confused today, right? Like knowing full well, I did see if there was enough minions to make Into the Fray worthwhile, right? So there were just and hand cannons as well for the overkill, because I was thinking, I was trying to avoid retaliate. I was thinking late game with those plays.
And part of it too is like you also didn't like our deck building together as well. Kind of going back to that.
Yep.
Was only one way. You did not make any changes based off of my deck, right? So like
I didn't even look at your deck, Terence. You know that.
I mean, sometimes you do, right?
Well, no.
Sometimes I actually share my deck first.
Yeah, this time I definitely did not have time to do.
But like if we want to run it back, I actually think there's a good chance. I mean, there's part of it you get the first 2 games where no matter what you do, sometimes like maybe you lose. But this 3rd game I thought we had a real shot. But I think we're to run it back. Like there's probably changes I would ask to make your deck. Of like I was thinking about some of it, even independent problem solvers, but it makes sense of just like running Angela. I think potentially makes sense in your deck.
To pull out allies. I thought about adding her, believe it or
not.
Well,
just with hand cannon and Into the Fray and stuff, right? Like having options for the cards that you've built, which is a half like minion assassination deck, and getting value out of overkilling.
Yeah, and honestly, I didn't need Sunfire. I thought about it, but I was doing so much, and honestly,
Sunfire is still good for. There's only 1 or 2. There's 2. There's improvised weapons here that you have out already, and then there's the We Are One, which is the one I got rid of that one time. That's right. +3/+3. Those are the only 2 targets for Sunfire. But it's still like you'd rather pay 3 resources get Sunfire than pay 3 resources and discard 1 attachment, right?
Well, sure.
You kind of have to have Sunfire in your hand. So it's a little bit of luck there. But yeah, like running Bug, for instance, like potentially some of the cheaper Guardian cards also would allow, me to potentially play problem solvers.
Bug was another one I thought, easier. Me, I always include Bug, and I didn't today on purpose because my allies were there to chump. Now, I didn't realize you were playing a deck that needed Guardians, because that clearly would have changed my thought process as well.
Like some of those changes, right? Like where you get to, I think some of the fun stuff too of 2 players, like getting to deck build across 2 decks, right? Like we talk about, sometimes I feel like people treat this game as not a cooperative experience when you deck build. And I think some of the fun things of the lines cards, even though we don't do them, is like maybe that does change what you actually include in your deck.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Michael Barnes says, watching that game, it was the best endurance ever. It gave you 9 hit points. So I must have given myself 3, and then gave myself 3 again, and then gave it to myself a 3rd time. So we would have died even earlier had I not totally cheated with the endurance, apparently.
Nice.
But it's all right. We still lost anyway. Like, serves me right for trying to cheat with the endurance. All right, Terence, I think we're going to call it a night there. But bottom line is, I think you don't have to deck build for this game. I think you can, especially if you're playing standard. And I think that's part of the reason a lot of times when you're at like Con of Heroes and other conventions like that, you're playing against a standard villain because you've done nothing to buff up your deck specifically or to tailor that deck to the villain. So unless you're bringing your entire collection with you, then it's going to be very hard to customize on the fly or change it to the way you might need for that villain. So I think for that reason, if nothing else, that's why you play standard when you get to these conventions. That, and you're also playing 4-player games, which we know take just way longer if you're playing expert.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, a lot like the con, you will know most of the scenarios. Like it will be Mutant Genesis and Mojo this year.
Sure.
So like if you want to deck build on standard or expert, like maybe you want to deck build on standard because you want the games to go faster.
Well, not only
you
that,
can't
but you don't get to
can't have that
customize
toolbox
for your partner, right?
Yeah, but you can customize for the scenario, right? Like you
Sure.
can have a toolbox of potential answers, right? You're like, oh, I know I'm going to play Magog, so I probably want some status stuff or whatever, or the ability to tough or something, right? To not be contributing for myself to the loss condition.
Yeah.
As an example, right? So
Michael caught me. So he says, "Yeah, you got it the first time. Then you gave it to yourself when you questioned it. Then you took another 3 when someone said that you didn't think you got them." So, yep,
nice.
That is the, you know what? And let me tell you, that helped me totally zero.
Well, it probably helped you a bunch, but
it helped
change the
a
outcome.
whole bunch. Yeah, well, touche. And honestly, like, I probably would have played more conservative, or definitely would have played more conservatively if I had less hit points. So it probably would have forced me to play my deck smarter had I not gotten that. Michael says, in my opinion, Wolverine aggression is just not a hero you bring to 2 players versus Venom Goblin. I think it can be done, but I think Terence is right. There were definitely some changes I had to make. And again, if I'm not burning my health, it's like Star-Lord, right? Just because he's got that ability to play a card for 3 cheaper doesn't mean you should do it every turn.
Are we running it back where you run Star-Lord?
Star-Lord aggression next time? No, but like just because I could use my claws to keep burning those, burning my health down, doesn't mean I should have done it, right? If I had played more conservatively and played with more and it's so funny because Wolverine almost forces me to play more aggressively, and that's what I like about Wolverine. Because it's not in my nature. Normally, I like to play more conservatively. Normally, I would just keep putting allies out, and you and I thwart until we've got everything under control, and then I'd go, full out on my attacking. And I could have done that here. I just chose not to. Again, it's obviously the wrong call, because I think if we had managed everything, managed threat, and then I went to town, and especially if it was the second phase of the villain, I think that would have been the smarter way to do it. But at the same time, I don't know, when I see those aggression cards, it just makes me want to kill myself.
Would you run, I almost wonder, like, do you run like follow through with, like, if you just go overkill kind of as a thing?
Yep.
I know you tend to not like to lean into basically a very specific playstyle.
Right.
Like your decks are almost always a lot more general.
Yep.
Even if it's not like my deck is general and I can thwart and do all this stuff, it's like even in like I'm just gonna do damage, it seems to be a little more general.
Yep.
If you were to run follow through with like Moment of Triumph and pulling minions and stuff like that, like, do you think that focus would have made it better? Because then you would have gotten healing potentially out of.
I mean, I'll tell you the truth, and I kind of told you before how I made my deck. I literally pulled every 3-cost attack card.
Yeah, but you were also running like Fusillades, right? Like,
well, Fusillades was the exception because I ran out of 3-cost cards. So I put Fusillade in there because I don't know. I like the concept of overkilling minions in this situation.
Potentially, you can compensate. Instead of running every 3-cost card, you can run like plan of attack or something, right? To fish for an attack out of your deck.
Pull it, yeah.
Potentially as an alternative.
Yeah. And Michael's saying he thinks there's just too much threat for one player to handle, and I agree, obviously. But again, with Wolverine, I didn't have to attack every turn. I didn't if I had brought more allies in, that would be more threat removal, not just more protection as well. That was my point. I think, and this was the blinders that I had put on myself. Now, to be fair, there was a lot of minions to deal with, and so to some degree we had to do some. But there were definitely choices I made to put out like whatever instead of a minion.
Yep. I still regret.
Or instead of an ally.
I still regret jumping with arrows.
Well, yeah. I mean that would have survived us a little bit longer, but
It would have been a game changer, dude. Like, we were able to remove like I think I had like Thwart cards there too, like the Thwart boosters. Like that would have been like 5, 6, 7 threat off of every.
Well, and there were 2 5-threat side schemes.
Yeah, exactly. Would have cleared both of those side schemes. You're talking about like 25 threat off the board right there. Yeah. Like you tell me that wouldn't have changed, despite your like cheating on endurance. Like, I think like if that threat was under control, it'd be a completely different game, man. Like you just would feel more free to flip down. Like you just wouldn't feel the pressure to like. I feel like when you have the threat handled. So I beat Goblin the other night when I was testing this deck solo.
Yep.
And there was 0 threat on the board when I beat him. Like I had it completely under control with the single problem solvers.
Yeah.
Like I was just able to do it. Like, admittedly, you're also drawing less cards. I didn't draw into like I drew a lot of the exhaustion kind of things this game too.
Yeah.
I felt like I was exhausted a lot coming in my turn.
Did.
I had to like,
yep.
I had to burn a card just to ready. So like you're losing like 3 to 5 threat just that way, right?
Right. And again, I could make
really
up for it, but it also felt like there were a lot of minions on the board that I had to handle. So, and I thought I was helping a little bit with the Into the Frays.
No, Into the Fray was great,
but it just wasn't enough.
I mean, there's 2 of them, right? So like you cycled your deck 1 time, so at most you saw it 4 times if you played them.
Didn't I have
4
3
times? I think
no,
I thought you only had 2.
No, I had
Did
3.
you change it to 3?
Let me look. Pretty sure.
Maybe it was 3. But yeah, I mean,
at
that
3 of all the 3 cost cards.
But it's still only like like 5 times probably that you saw it in the course of that game.
Yeah,
and you had to have played it every time.
And 3 uppercuts. Fusillade was the only card I didn't have 3 of. And that's the other thing. Like I was taking 3 damage to do 5, and even on that last turn I took 4, or I was thinking about taking 4 to do 5. That's just stupid. Like, uppercut's really a card that's just there to deal with Glider. Like, I shouldn't be... I should have been doing track by sense and stuff like that, rather than doing stuff like Fusillade, or like uppercut.
Track by sense feels like such an expensive card.
It is. I mean, 2 for 3. You do get to draw 2, but you have to clear the last threat, which means usually you're not going to get it exactly, so you're wasting some of it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you could set it up better than I did. And again, with 7 2-cost allies in my deck. That's the thing. I had 7 2-cost allies. The most I ever had out was 2, and usually I didn't have any. Yeah.
Yeah, I prioritize... In my solo game, I definitely did not prioritize playing allies as much as I did this game.
Yeah.
And I definitely did because I felt like I had to in case we got a bad villain turn.
Yeah.
And then when it burned through a bunch of my allies, it was just like, well, I can't just like poop them back out, right? Like that's over the course of like 2 or 3 turns I have put them out, right? Yeah, I don't know. I was definitely trying to compensate for some of the stuff. Which maybe was not the right call. I don't know.
Well, and again, if I had played more allies, I'd be thwarting more too, right? Because most of my allies, I mean, even if you're just thwarting for 1 with them before they chump them away, it's still something. It's still 1 more thwart that we would have had every turn, or 1 or 2. But no, it was a good game. You know, I still enjoyed myself. I got a little frustrated there, but I think that Michael Barnes says violent tendencies only triggers on attacks, not retaliate. So I think we hurt ourselves once there by giving him an extra boost card. So thank you, Michael. That's good catch.
I think I played that correctly, but I did not read the full card this time.
Right, you played it correctly in your solo game, but not in our 2-player game. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of the stuff. I think there's very few things that aren't attacks. I remember. I think maybe some of the shields are not attacks. Like you can slop stuff onto like some of the shield attachments the
Yeah.
enemy villains get. But
Well, we'll be back for you, Venom Goblin. We'll have to find another set. Not next week. We're gonna take a week off. We're gonna do something a little easier, like Ronin next week or Hood. It's fine.
Ronin head. I don't know.
Ronin
Like
with
I
Hood.
do.
Hood with a
I,
Ronin modular.
I do want to make tweaks to this deck and run it back with my deck. Because I think if I add a little more thwarting, we can make it happen.
Well, and again, I think if I just play a little smarter and change things up a little bit to help you, like putting bug in and stuff like that, like there's definitely changes that I could make seeing your deck. I could definitely cater my deck to work with yours more. And you know what? You're either going to like that kind of thing or you're not. I think that's the other thing too, right? I think we've proven today that like nobody's great at building decks right away without testing them, right? Like that's what deck building's all about. It's about tweaking. It's about the little things. It's about, oh, if I had this card instead of that card, that would help me out more, right? So I do think there is some knowledge to be gleaned from stuff like today. It's like, look, sometimes it's just one or two cards you got to change out of your deck to make all the difference for that villain. And it's almost like
Yep.
that's why Magic has sideboards, right? Like
Yep.
maybe you do have a kind of standard deck, but you have 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 or 15 cards that might be swappable in or out based on the villain you're facing.
Yeah, I think that's one of my like pet peeves on Marvel CDB versus Rings DB is that Rings DB does have sideboard as a thing,
Oh, okay.
where like you can have a deck and then you can have like a sideboard set
Yep.
of however many cards. Like when you put a deck in, you can either put it in the deck or in the sideboard or a combination. Like maybe you might have, for instance, like 3 of a card, right? But then you would put like 1 in your deck, 2 in your deck, and 1 in the sideboard. If
Sure.
like you need to like, oh, like maybe I do need more heal in this deck, so maybe you'll have more copies of Moment of Triumph or something, right?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's the thing that both Arkham and I think because Marvel CDB is by the same people, does not have sideboards there. I mean, it's not like a big complaint, but it's definitely like a thing I wish I could have sometimes.
Sure.
Yeah, and I think that like yeah, I mean sideboards are definitely like a real thing. Like I think even for Lord of the Rings where you've complained about it, like I think oftentimes you can take like a deck and probably play it in a lot of scenarios with just sideboards, right? It's like,
Yeah, for
oh, I
sure.
do need a little more healing. I do need a little more of this, and I think this game is very similar. And there's exceptions to that, obviously. But I do want to ask you, kind of at closing, like, I know you've complained a lot about this kind of thing, how you don't like doing this in Lord of the Rings. Do you also dislike it in Marvel Champions, or has your like attitude on this after like 3 years of playing this game changed because
Well,
you're just gotten into the game so much?
it's all about the knowledge, right? So, I don't like it as much in Lord of the Rings because I don't know the cards, right? So you're right. There is a level of knowledge you have to have before you can make not even necessarily optimal choices, because I don't know that I make optimal choices, but more informed choices. At least I know what I'm doing. Whereas sometimes you see these 5 cards and it's like, I don't know why these cards would work together. I don't, you know what I mean? But then they do. So I feel like I at least to a decent degree, and not just me, I think in general, you have to have a minimum level of knowledge in order to make decks that are even fun for you. And again, it depends, right? Because if you're playing against Expert, I think you need to be doing much more deck building, obviously, so you need to be much more of an expert at it. Whereas I think if you're playing Standard, you can get away with like, oh, those 3 cards, I probably wouldn't have used them, but I did, and we still ended up winning, and it's fine. So, with all that being said, I think the fact that you can do 3 ofs in a deck that is 40 cards big and 15 of them are set for you, and really like 20 of them are set for you, honestly, between the 3 extra resources and like some kind of resource generation card, whether it's, mansion or Quinn Carrier or Helicarrier, like you're gonna probably put something like that in, right? So really, you're talking about 20 cards that you're working with here, 20 to 22 cards. And you could do 3 of, so I mean maybe it's 7 to 10 different cards. And again, I think there are some other standards, like I'm either gonna put endurance in, or what's the one that helps you heal, crew quarters, or one of those cards as well. So I really do think that you don't have as many cards to play with as you think you do with Marvel Champions. So because of that, I think the deck building is more straightforward. Like we said, we're talking about changing out 3 cards, but that's like,
It's a lot of cards.
10% of your deck.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, as you saw, I have a strong grasp of the card pool in my head at all times.
Yes,
apparently.
you
do. Which I think, like, I talk about this a lot with like the LCGs. I think like you have to have some amount of the cards in your head, like maybe not as much as I do, and there's definitely people who have it way more, to make, I think, deck building enjoyable. I think it's kind of analogous for me of like learning the rules of a game, right? Like it is much less enjoyable, at least for me, to have to like flip through a rule book and like check every 5 minutes, like, did I do this thing right?
Right.
And I think it's similar for deck building. It's just like even playing through a precon deck and needing to make changes, like being able to easily fetch that from memory of like, oh, I want this card. I know exactly what that card is to slot in, right?
Yeah.
Versus like having to fumble through a binder across whatever. Like I am looking for a card that does X, right?
Sure.
And so I think that makes it
a
lot more enjoyable.
The database certainly helps as well. All right, Terence. Well, we've it's almost 2 a.m, so I am going to sign us off. But I will end off with Michael Barnes saying, "Yeah, I built 4 decks for Gen Con and built a sideboard for each one. I'll do the same thing for Con of Heroes as well." So, Michael, hopefully we get to play with you at either Con of Heroes or at Gen Con this year.
Or both.
Or both. Yeah. I still don't know which conventions I'm going to this year. I'm again hoping to do Con of Heroes. I mean, it's more likely than not that I will. It just depends on timing, what else is going on with the family at that time. It'll be Gen Con or Origins. I know Jerry likes Gen Con better, so we tend to do that. Plus, there's more to cover there, so it makes more sense for us to be there. It's just so overwhelming for me. But it was fun to do like the Marvel Champions stuff this year, and honestly, it was fun to do Keyforge a couple years ago when I did it. Did Keyforge tournaments over there. So there are certain things I like about Gen Con. There are certain things I like about Origins better. Just depends on time of the year and what's going on. And I'll definitely be at PAX U. That's kind of a staple for me because it's an easy drive.
Cool. Well, we just had another meeting today for Con of Heroes, and
awesome.
You will be very sad if you miss it. I will say that, Peter.
I mean, I'm paying either way. Like, I'm buying a ticket. Whether I end up able to make it or not is something different. So I expect you to bring all my swag to me, like, next time you see me. Whether that's a year or 5 years from now, who cares?
I mean, it'd probably be a Gen Con at worst, right?
Yeah. So,
I mean, we'll probably ship stuff out though, so we can do we might do the kind of similar thing where we do like the content stuff like we did last year.
Well, it makes sense. Like that way you can print it in more bulk. You get discounts on that, and then as long as people are willing to pay shipping, then
I just mean like we were able to as One Stop Co-op Shop send out some of the Hero swag.
Yeah, as prize supporter or whatever else.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that'd be very cool. We'll definitely do stuff. I mean, if they've got stuff for us, we'll definitely send it out to people who aren't able to make the convention because of whatever reason. All right, Terence, great playing with you as always. We'll be back next Friday with 2 new heroes. We will have to figure out what we're gonna do. I don't have anything in mind right now, so and my mind is blank, honestly. Like Venom Goblin sucked all the power out of my brain. So I did not realize he had that capacity for mental destruction. But apparently, that is Venom Goblin's number one tool, is destroying minds of innocent children. Like myself. All right. Night, Terrence.
Night.
Bye.
Bye.